Here. Here, step out. I got you. Come here.
Just tell me where my son's gonna go, please.
Your son's not going anywhere right now. Give me your vape.
What? Hold on, please. I'm asking nicely. My son's not going anywhere, but why am I on echo? Why am I being echo? I'm just asking.
So, we get a report of a suspicious van with someone matching your description, and I'm assuming that's your boyfriend or your husband.
My husband.
What happened? I'm not even going to ask you that. So we get a report of someone trying to kidnap a child, okay? So, and you guys match the description to a T, all right? And that's all I can really tell you right now.
That's fine.
So we're going to figure this out, and we're going to cross the bridge as it comes.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine.
Who is he to you? Is that your boyfriend?
That's my husband, my son's father.
He was standing back and all this. Like, that's not safe.
No, not safe at all.
Do you have a Florida license?
In my backpack, in the backpack with the sunflowers.
Okay.
It's in there.
Yeah, you pronounce your first name Tayana?
Diana.
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 Ty?
T-A-I-A-N-A.
Oh, Diana.
Diana.
Get over here right now, dog.
I'm on Sterling.
I'll see you here.
All right, here's the.
Oh, you need to relax.
Can't use the phone right now.
Why?
Because you're being detained.
How am I being detained for what?
You're being detained because you fit the description.
That doesn't matter. That's against the law, bro. That's against the law. Y'all didn't even read me my rights. Y'all didn't tell me nothing.
What's your first name?
For what?
You match the description
of what?
Of a crime.
Of a crime? Somebody that hit my baby mama in front of my son?
Relax.
Baby, relax.
Hey, I'm answering. You need to answer my questions, all right?
C as in tomato.
Yeah.
A-I.
A-I.
A-N-A.
All right.
This looks nice.
You like it?
This is how it looks when you're in jail in the backseat of the cop car.
My question is, okay, there was a report that I was kidnapping my child. But was there a report on 19 and McKinley that I got my lip busted by a guy?
That was included, yes. Yeah.
So he's the one that reported it? Because he was fighting for his sister. And I flicked the sister off. Why did he come and punch me?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
But a cop got the report. A cop was the one that saw what happened and reported it to you guys. A guy on a blue car.
Blue car?
On a blue truck.
Okay. All right. Well, Tayana, right?
Hold on, because I wanna
Stay in the car.
I'm on my rights.
We're gonna stay in your car.
You guys put my son in.
I'm not asking you any incriminating questions. You're just talking. I'm gonna close the door. If you put your leg in the door frame, you're gonna get hurt.
You guys are stealing
You need to
my
move.
son.
I'm not stealing your son.
So why did you guys put him in that car over there?
Your foot back in.
To answer my question.
Not yet.
Please?
Tayana is angry because she believes that the father of the girl she and her husband tried to kidnap should be held accountable for hitting her. As you will soon find out, the father was trying to protect his daughter from Tayana, and she then physically attacked him, prompting him to hit her in self-defense. Now the police will bring the suspects in for identification and will take statements from the parents and the girl who almost became a victim. Their stories will align, clearly showing that Tayana and her husband had malicious intentions.
We're right over there where we stopped the car. They're not going to see you. Am I going to put the window up for you? No. So we'll drive by. They're going to hold the female up. And you're like, that's her. It's her. It's not. It's not.
Let's go. Got things to do. People to see. Good. Good.
Let's just make sure. I don't have nothing, bro. I wish I did, bro. If I did, I would have killed you. Trust me.
Tell me exactly what happened from like your side.
So I was in the car. She was leaving. But right before that, I see my daughter go inside and she's like with a face.
Like scared.
They already had told me a month ago my daughter felt uncomfortable. That lady was trying to talk to her.
Yeah.
But when she drove off, the lady comes out, starts don't worry, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get her. No, it's out loud. So I'm right here and I'm like what's going on? You know, right? And she started going off, going crazy, and then she came running and just ran up to me. And I told her, yo, back up. And she just kept coming back to the point that I wanted to hit her, but I didn't. I grabbed dirt. I was gonna throw dirt at her.
Right.
But she swung at me and then spit at me. And as a reaction, I hit her in the mouth.
Okay.
That was a reaction.
Okay. So right now, when I interviewed, or not interviewed, but I talked to your daughter's saying that the lady was like, come here. Asked to go in the window.
That's what I was figuring. Because I remember
trying
she
to
told
get
me
her
like a
in the
month
van.
ago that she felt like, that she was trying to take
And
her.
then he's saying, same thing, the stories combined, that the lady, both of them were like trying to get your daughter to come to the van.
BlackOps, drop care package on my beacon.
If you thought things couldn't get worse, you're mistaken. In Las Vegas, a witness saw a pair kidnap a girl and forcefully push her into a car. When the police found her, the distressed girl was in shackles. She revealed shocking details of her abduction to the officers. Apparently, the kidnapper was her ex-boyfriend, who is now in a relationship with a transgender woman. And together they kidnapped the unfortunate girl to convince her to join them in a relationship. They told her they would take her to a cave to enlighten her. Fortunately, they did not succeed.
There's a passenger! There is a passenger! Get on the ground, passenger! All the way! Yeah, I got passenger. Weaver requesting UAV tasking. As a marking care package LZ.
Got a camera. Do you need a...
Oh my God, thank you.
Okay. Is that it? Rolling? I got throw it. Okay, we're gonna get you out of here, okay? We're gonna get you out of here.
Do you need me to say anything about what happened or anything?
Don't worry about it. Just hold on for now, okay? Just hold on, okay? As a requesting watchdog Hilo on my grid. Sarge, I want to take some pictures. We have the evidence tight chain down by the neck.
Okay, go ahead.
Also, you put your hands up.
Hostile RCXD in your AO.
He choked me
Sarge.
out 6 times.
I don't got a key for this one, guys. Sarge, I don't got a key for the neck one. Okay. Here it is.
I was in Las Vegas, broke into my Las Vegas apartment and stole me from my home. Nevada. Yeah, he's my ex-boyfriend. How did you know?
He told us.
Who did?
I was up at the office trying to run him, see if we had anything on him.
He dragged me out of the place and I fought so hard because I was like, this is how you die. And I think a neighbor saw me getting dragged out. He choked me out like 6 times because I kept fighting so hard.
Okay, did you lose consciousness when he was choking you?
Yes, like 6. He choked me out 6 times.
We have an ambulance on the way to check you out a bit.
You guys need my information?
Yeah, I do.
UAV inbound. Back up. Launch counter UAV. What's that? Not a favorite hymn? No, I don't. Why not? I don't know. I've never been into them. What about Jack you? Up. Get a UAV in the air. I'll take it. That's pretty good. Are you a Christian man? Yeah, I am. You?
In my van, there's a Bible, a Nelson Bible, and a Baptist hymnal. Any chances I can get those?
I'm pretty sure. Your vehicle's gonna be right up the road anyway, so which one? Which Bible?
The Nelson, if there's 2 of them. There's a big one, and then there's a smaller red one. It's a smaller red one.
Small red one?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
Is it okay to talk?
To talk?
Yeah.
What are you gonna talk about?
Anything. I'm just kind of scared.
Triggering scout ball.
I'm not too sure. flanking coming. Damn it, we've lost the lead. Hostile
Come in, put your hands on the wheel for me. What are you doing with those 2 small girls over there? What? Why were you talking to those 2 small girls? One of them said you were trying to get them in your car.
Excuse me?
Yeah, they said you waved them over, said get in my car.
No. I was going down here, going to the loop. They're going down their bike. They crossed the street.
Watch your UAV.
I told them, be careful.
You got ID?
Yes, sir.
Can you pull it out for me?
Why? What's the reason?
Well, it sounds like you're trying to solicit these young girls.
No, I'm not.
Yes, sir, but everything points that you did. This man is suspected of luring underage girls into his car. Specifically, 2 underage girls were riding bicycles when this man crossed their path, gestured for them to come to him, and told them to get into the vehicle. They didn't hesitate and immediately called the police while he moved on. While a police officer was questioning them about the unpleasant incident, the suspect drove past them again, and that's when this story began.
I only beeped because I was going across the street. They're crossing the street when they don't have to stop. Yes, sir. They only cross the street. I only want to...
All right, man. Let me see your ID and I'll get you on your way, okay?
Okay.
So what exactly happened? You saw these girls and they were in the road or what?
Yes, and I did. And I told them to move out the way because they were coming on the bicycle and that's...
And where was that at?
Like
the road you came from?
Yes, sir. Like under the bridge. I never did.
I mean, I didn't stop you for no reason. You obviously saw them talking to them. You saw them pointing at you.
Because when I was crossing,
You were just making stuff up. Oh, you're saying they didn't say nothing.
No.
Well, the other officer is talking to the girls. We're gonna figure this out, okay? You're not like a sex offender. You don't register as a sex offender, like that, right? I know it's a tough question to ask and answer. But, you know, when 2 small girls come to police officers say, hey, some guy was trying to get me in their car, I got to... You know what I'm saying? I got to...
Oh, man. No. I just went like...
How come you came back?
Because I'm coming down right here to... look, I'm just talking to my friend right now. I don't got no gas, look.
Enemy RTXD detected.
Hey, turn it off.
Okay. I need to get gas right here at the gas station.
Well, there's a gas station here, but if you went down that way, why would you come back up this way?
Yes, because
All right, do me step out of the car.
So I don't have to.
Yes, you're under arrest because you don't have a driver's license.
Perfect execution. The Mandias rally.
I'm telling you.
You're under arrest for not having a driver's license.
Sir,
So step out of the vehicle. Come on. You don't have a driver's license. You're going to get a ticket and you'll be on your way.
No. Hey, hold on. No. Sir.
Why
Why you doing this? Why you doing this? Why you doing this? Hey. Sir. Get this on camera, man.
It's already on camera. Stand up. I told you were getting a simple traffic ticket and you decided to start your car back up?
I didn't do nothing.
Okay, good. You're going to need him.
Yeah.
We're asking a 14-year-old to get in your car.
So who?
Step in the car. I told you, all you were getting was a simple traffic ticket. You fought.
I did.
Since he caused a disturbance when he stopped the girls, the suspect was charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Also, 2 counts of resisting arrest, DUI, driving while revoked, and no insurance. In today's episode, you'll see an angry daughter who damaged her mother's house because she wouldn't give her the Wi-Fi.
I don't need her help. I need her Wi-Fi.
You need her what?
Wi-Fi. Like, you're a weird.
Another frustrated daughter who assaulted her elderly mother.
No, she kind of pushed me, but I assume she's big drinking. That's why she's.
Then, a mother who called the police on her 8-year-old thief. But we'll start with an entitled daughter who one day decided to cause a huge scene outside her father's house. She no longer lives at his address, but believes she still has privileges there because, as she says, she had a hard life because of her wealthy father. He doesn't want her in his house, and you'll quickly understand why is that so.
You legally evict me then. I'll walk in that house and he won't do shit because he can't. I will. What are you gonna do, beat me?
Ma'am, let's go back over here.
Are you gonna beat me? Let's beat me then. Beat me in front of the cop. You won't. Yeah, I'll ruin your Porsche. I'll sit my right on it, my rich ass right on it. Because guess who made me rich, Daddy? A school shooting.
10-4.
A school shooting that you weren't around for because you were at work making money and stuffing with it. Yo, get your princess wife over here. I'll beat the brakes off of her just cuz. And I'll do it when nobody's around while she's sleeping. Right. My rocked. Tired of being hit by men and doing nothing about it.
7797.
Can I speak to Anderson?
Yeah, you can speak with Anderson.
Cool.
So the background that I have right now is...
We got a little bit from him.
Yeah. So she was coming here to get her mail.
Like, what?
She doesn't live here anymore. Moved out. Dad said the room was clear.
I know
But she's still under the pretense that she still has established residency here. I was trying to explain that to her. Dad said she's been moved out for 6 months.
So why don't we talk to Dad? If Dad wants her trespass from his property.
While officers were talking to her father, who decided to trespass his daughter from his property, others stayed with the furious girl to find out more about the reasons for her bizarre outburst.
There's no way a third man in my life is going to hit me and I'm not going to do anything about it. 4, excuse me.
So what are we trying to accomplish today?
Honestly, you Baker Act him, and I get my money, and I get my domestic charges filed. Of course, I got 1, 2, 3. I'm getting rich. He's going locked up, whether that's jail or Baker Act, because he tried to kill me. You have to understand the amount of years of abuse and not neglect, but it's like just the presence of being a positive parent, I guess, and not being under the influence, or not teaching me a lesson every single time we have to talk, or how I spend my money, or why I'm smoking pot, or why I'm not drinking alcohol, or like this or that, why I dropped out of high school because my school got shot up, sorry, or my cousin Sonia dies 2 days later when I'm 16 years old, and that induces my bipolar 1 psychosis, the genetics I got from him. Why not eliminate 50% of it?
It sounds like you're happier and better off when you don't have any interaction with him.
You're right, but this is the final one, and I'm not coming ever back here again.
Because all I'm just saying, and it's your decision, just close that chapter.
I'm trying. This is it.
You're at what age now?
21. No. And I'm tired of the bull. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of this bullshit here. This bullshit family that's fake as because they're so rich they can pay anybody off. I told him that yesterday. I'm done talking. I'm done. Okay. Now you've got me really frustrated. You've got me really frustrated. Back up, please. Back up. I'm about to get off this guard. Back up. I'm telling you now, back up.
Come on, you're losing this fight.
Don't play. Because guess what? I remember your face. And that uniform doesn't mean when you're off the clock. Because guess what? 1, 2, 3 are right here. And guess what? My own brother is a cop. And guess what? I could be a cop. I'm just crazy. I won't pass this like you down. Don't worry, I've tried.
Hard-point attack.
Nope. I'm gonna go to my house and my room inside. Is that a problem?
Hostiles have the hard point.
This is my property, and you're not to take it from my possession. So if you do this, understand that this may be an adverse action for you, and it may result in a police action against you. So you're going to sign here, you're going to leave the property, and if you do not, you're going to go to jail. Do you understand, yes or no? If she starts spewing out about yes or no, ma'am? Yes or no? I don't care. Yes or no?
Just a couple questions for you.
We're walk and talk. Yeah, we're good, ma'am.
I have one more thing I just talked
And you're not listening, man. We just had a couple questions, ma'am.
I'm not ready to talk to you.
Okay, well, that's not how this works, ma'am. Okay, you're being trespassed from this property. Okay, my partner here has a couple of questions for you.
What's your phone number? It's my mother's. I'm not giving you my phone number. And your address? What are you talking about? I live here. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
You don't live here.
How are you going to prove that?
There is no property belonging to you inside that house. We just did a walkthrough and an inspection.
I have property on here. Trust me, that moves this vehicle.
Okay, ma'am.
Mr. Zorilla, you Gorilla too?
You can keep calling me names. It's not going to make any progress for you.
Let me get off my property, on my other property. You can write my license plate down, find me. Well, let me get on my Audi. Okay. Ready? So you just passed on this property. You can't return for 90 days. If you do, you'll be subject to arrest.
Get a Hellstorm on my grid.
I'm not signing it, but okay. I live here. So you need to get him out here. We're going to fight right here. I'm not signing that.
We're not going to do that, man. If you don't leave, you are going to be going to jail for trespassing because you no longer reside at this residence. You reside in a residence in Margate.
How do you know that? Who told you that?
You reside in Margate, ma'am. There's plenty.
Who? Did the doctor tell you
There's
that?
plenty of documented history.
Where?
Ma'am, if you don't get in the car and drive away right now, you're going to get yanked off the car and you're going to go to
Where are
jail.
my keys, baby? Where are my keys? They're on the property.
He's going to get your keys. Should get another tire. I don't recommend you drive on a donut, okay?
How do you think? Why do you think I'm here?
Ma'am, I need you to get in the car and I need you to leave. If not leave, you're going to go to jail. We don't have your debit card. Goodbye, ma'am. Drive away. Ma'am, if you don't leave right now, you're going to get yanked out of the car and you're going to go to jail. Do you understand, yes or no? Have a better day. If she comes back, then we're going to go to jail.
Try to guess whether the angry daughter will come back or not. The main issue is whether the daughter has residency rights at the property. In Florida, residency or tenancy can be established in various ways, including proof that one's belongings are inside the property, which she fails to provide. Since she can't prove she legally resides there and her father wishes to have her trespassed, she is required to leave. Once she moves to the street, which is public property, her rights change. She generally has the right to be there unless she's committing a crime or breaking specific ordinances like blocking traffic or causing a public disturbance. It will be interesting to see what she does next.
Ma'am, if you don't move your car blocking the intersection, you're going to be cited for that. Why? Because you're blocking an intersection right now. Ma'am, you're blocking an intersection. Look, there's a vehicle, and I'm witnessing a violation as we speak. Forcing him to go around. You cannot park your car there. I need you to move your car. If you do not, you're going to get cited for it. Man, you're blocking a private driveway. If you continue to block a private driveway, you're going to go to jail. Do you understand?
Aguinaldo calling in UAV.
Rick, you got him. Good. Our property, remember? Our property, guys.
Hard point is active.
This is how I truly am.
West Point marking care package TV. Get a CUAV on station.
Ma'am, I need your driver's license. If you continue to walk away from this traffic stop, you're going to go to jail for obstruction. Do you understand, yes or no? Do you understand if you're going to go to jail, yes or no? Do you understand you're going to go to jail, yes or no?
Myself. Go ahead. Here you go.
Stop, ma'am. Stop.
I'm going to myself.
Stop.
Why aren't you doing anything about it? Why aren't you doing anything about it?
There you go. You're doing great.
Yeah, I know.
Hard point locked down.
Yeah, no.
I'm still going to issue.
Don't tell me what to do.
No.
We're also going to tow your car for being on a public roadway.
Why? That's an emergency.
No, it's blocking a private driveway.
What? That I know.
You're getting a citation for it.
Okay, baby, I can pay it off.
Do you understand, ma'am?
All right, come on, I'll shut up. You hurting? Hold on. It's hurting.
Listen
I'm
up.
gonna get myself right here. Trust me, I can't. Please get off me.
On the count of three.
No, I'm not ready.
Okay.
I'm not ready.
It doesn't matter if you're ready or not. We're
Hold on.
gonna go, man.
Hold on.
We have enough people here that we can lift you up.
Wait,
no problem.
wait,
We're all
ready? wait.
All right.
It's my...
3, 2, 1, let's go. All right. Ma'am, question, are you injured at this time?
I went myself, so yes.
Okay.
So you didn't get arrested for trespassing. I saw you and I was telling my partner, I said, I at least want to let you know. And she's smart because she knows she was trespassed and she kept along that boundary line so she wasn't back on your property, you know? Obviously, you just don't want this disturbance for your house.
She comes over, like yesterday, she came over, she was all pissed off. She dumped the garbage cans over at your
Bring it in, recall.
house.
Hardpoint locked down.
There you go, get the blood flow out.
Let's capture the hardpoint.
Frag going up.
This is my mom.
What's going on?
Bro, this is my mom.
Okay.
My mom. She picked me up for no reason.
Okay.
Wow, she really got
Yeah, she really did. We're really here and we're really talking to you. What's going on?
Ask her. And I woke up in the morning.
Where did you wake up?
I woke up on...
Okay.
And then they asked me where I want to get Uber to.
Okay.
And I asked them to Uber to my mom's house because she has Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi at my house. I just moved there.
You got an Uber to your mom's house? Do you live here?
No, I live in Hills Corner.
Okay. You got an Uber to your mom's house because she's got Wi-Fi.
I just wanted to be here, just to be here. And because she does have Wi-Fi, and I was trying to figure something out.
Okay.
If I were to get Uber to my house, I don't have Wi-Fi.
What happened when you went in the house?
Nothing.
Nothing?
She got mad.
Yelling? I mean, how do you go from just getting home? How did you get in the house?
But I'm 25.
How did you get in the house?
She let me in.
Okay, so she let you in?
Yes.
And she could tell you've been drinking?
I wasn't drinking.
Well, what do you mean you're under...
I was drinking when I got there.
She was aware that you had been drinking prior to coming here?
No. She didn't, like when I came here, I wasn't drinking. But I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm not drunk.
So, was there anything...
She really called the police on me.
Did anybody...
I hate this bitch.
Yeah, this kind of behavior is definitely not a good idea when you're trying to appear innocent. This girl is suspected of vandalizing her mother's yard and threatening her over a minor argument. Apparently, her mother became angry when her daughter visited while drunk, as she has had issues with her in the past because of alcohol. Clearly, the girl believes that her mother calling the police was unnecessary and blames her for everything that is currently happening. But this was just the beginning. Her behavior will soon lead to numerous charges.
What did she say though?
Listening to you call her a snake.
Oh yeah, and I admitted to it.
So you are confused why she's upset. Do you behave this way when you're not drinking?
I've been getting kids out since I was 15,
Yeah.
a junior in high school.
Okay.
So yeah, no, this isn't like a normal activity.
This is not, or it is?
No.
Oh, you need her help.
I don't need your help. I need your Wi-Fi.
You need her what?
Wi-Fi. Like, you're weird. Like that is lame. That is so lame.
This is the behavior I'm asking you. That's up to you.
I want my phone. I need my iPhone, please. It's the only way I have communication. Can you go over and get it for me, please?
It would be easier if you put your phone down.
She came off and then I said, what is your game plan? Because you're under the influence and you're not welcome here. You're not welcome here like that. And where am I supposed to go? Where am I? I'll leave you somewhere. I don't have anywhere to go. And I'm like, and then she got close and she's like, so if I myself tonight, like that's gonna be on you. You're gonna be okay with that? You're gonna be okay with that? And also, I know when someone's under the influence, they're not thinking clearly. And all I can think of, I need to get her out of my house.
Oh, you work at Bob. Oh, she just told me what was going on.
Hang on. Let me call Langley. Give us the good news.
Why don't you have a seat and I'll go talk to my partner over there and then we'll talk to you about what she said. Can you just do us a favor and sit down?
Why is that fair? Because no, I'm not malicious. I just want to know.
I don't think you're malicious, but can you just have a seat? want you to fall down and get hurt. Can you
I'm
just...
not gonna.
Okay, thanks.
You just sit down.
As soon as the damage started happening, she became scared that it was going to continue, or she was going to break in the house and hurt her and the other kids. Here's what's going to be happening today, okay? Clearly, you know you can't do this kind of stuff, right? Like,
Do what?
well, all the damage, you know that.
Bro, what? Push over Christmas decoration?
Well, but you can't do
That's
that
my
stuff.
mom, huh?
I understand, but
It's not fair. You're gonna put me under arrest? I'm gonna go to jail?
that's what's going to happen today, okay? So
Why?
I don't want this to be a problem.
Why?
Because you broke the law.
Why did I break the law?
People's stuff.
Talk to her again, please.
No, it doesn't matter what she said. She didn't want you to be prosecuted.
Why am I? Because I threw over pot? That's
Well,
not fair.
That's part of it, but that's what happens. That's domestic violence law.
It's
We're
my
mandated to
house.
make an arrest.
Bro, no, I'm not going to. I have nobody to even get me out.
Put your hands behind your back for me. Hold on.
Are
Come
you
on.
serious?
Come on.
No, let go of me.
Yeah, because you keep twisting around.
Because why am I going to jail? Jail!
Don't kick me.
Why are you putting me in jail? And you want to go harder? You want to go harder? You want to go harder? Put your hands on me, bitch. Put your hands on me. Put your hands. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Get off me.
It's too late for that now. Because her mother felt threatened by her, the girl will likely earn at least one charge related to domestic violence. There will definitely be additional charges for criminal damage to property and probably battery on a law enforcement officer. Those are the potential charges at the moment, and all this because of alcohol and Wi-Fi.
Sit down.
Yeah, what you want to do? What you want to do?
Nope. Not kicking me. Nope.
What is it?
And guess what? You just got charged with battery to appeal.
Don't give a. I really talked to my mom.
I can't let you do that.
Eliminate all threats.
She doesn't want to press charges.
Why am I getting arrested?
Because Wisconsin law tells law enforcement that we have to.
No, that's
Okay.
her by not wanting to press charges. Please.
Okay.
Here, please.
So-
Please. I can't breathe, bro. Please.
She doesn't want to charge you. I'm telling you, this is Wisconsin
So
law.
what the you guys want to arrest me?
Because Wisconsin law tells us we have to.
No, that's not. If somebody wants to press charges.
Nope, not with domestic violence.
Can I just talk to my mom?
Nope, I can't do that.
Please, I have nothing on my record, bro. You wouldn't even see that. What?
Well, now you have a couple charges here, okay?
Can I talk to my mom?
No, not right now.
Why?
Because she's the victim of a domestic violence incident. I
That's
can't.
what I'm saying. And if she said I didn't put my hands on her, I promise.
You don't have to put your hands on her to be
What do
committing
you
domestic violence.
mean?
You're destroying her property.
I didn't destroy because I knocked.
You destroyed property.
Wow. Wow. Are you serious right now?
Police department!
Don't knock so hard.
What's going on, Trudy?
You tell me.
Where's your mom at?
Mom. Go talk to them. No, you go talk to them. You go outside and talk to them.
Don't have to go outside.
He said go outside and talk to them.
Talk to him outside?
No, I'm not going to talk to anybody. No, I'm not going to talk to any of you.
You don't want to talk to us?
No, why?
Trying to figure out what happened.
For what?
Okay.
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What? We're just called over here for a verbal
That's fine. That's fine. Go
domestic.
ahead.
We don't know what's going on. We're just here to figure out. To my understanding, you and your mom were having a verbal argument.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, did she hit you at all?
No, she kind of pushed me, but I assume she's been drinking. That's why she's.
Okay. Well, why did she get mad? Was she arguing with you?
She's always accusing me that it's my fault and everything. Well, she lost her apartment. She lost her job. So she lost her apartment, so she had to move in with me, and we had to.
Don't judge me. I'm sorry.
Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm far from perfect. Your mom
We're back, baby. We're even watching. There's off. Trump's worst rally. What was it, 4 hours ago? Fellas, is a racist club misogyny? I think so. All right, it's Hassan time, baby. I don't like Hassan. Billy.
We're gonna get to Trump in a second. Connery's Pants literally texted me the Trump deep throat thing.
The 2024
so it's real
campaign in its last 3 days now, both major candidates making final blitzes in battleground states this weekend. We have team coverage this morning. ABC's senior White House correspondent.
I don't know if I'm crazy, but like one other vibes-based analysis that I will attribute to is that like Nate Silver is now talking about the poll herding, and I think that that's a really interesting take from the guy who has been consistently saying that Donald Trump is like dead ass going to win 100p this close out from the race. Like he has almost always maintained the position that like Donald Trump is going to win, Donald Trump is going to win, Donald Trump is going to win. And now he's saying it's obviously a really close race, but for some pollsters, it's a little too close. Take, for example, this afternoon's polling release from British firm Redfield and Wilton. They polled all 7 of the core battleground states. And in all 7, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump each received 47 and 48% of the vote. Isn't it a little too convenient? Whatever happens, Redfield and Wilton, not a firm with a well-established reputation in the U.S., will be able to throw up their hands and say, well, we projected a tie, so don't blame us. I think the reason why he is seeing that he must hedge his reputation in this direction means that he's also seeing what a lot of other people are seeing as well. But it's based on polling averages. Dozens of polls have been released in each of these states in the past month. That greatly increases the sample size. Collectively, they've surveyed about 230,000 voters. By contrast, the median sample in an individual poll is 800 voters. In a 49-49 race, in a poll of 800 people, assuming 2% goes to third parties, the theoretical margin of error for a difference between Trump and Harris is plus or minus 6 points. So why is it that Nate Silver, who was consistently on the Trump is going to definitely win train, looking at his averages, now leveraging into the Kamala direction? Now, I'm not saying that, like, I'm not even faulting people for saying Donald Trump is definitely going to win, okay? The polls are very close, and I have always explained to you that Kamala's chances got worse and worse over the course of the past couple of months. The more you saw of her, the more you saw, like, what she wanted to communicate, and the more she pumped her campaign policies, the more Donald Trump seemingly did better in the polls. That is a fact. Kamala Harris has run an objectively bad campaign. That is a fact. Okay? So, having said that, I think that Nate Silver also sees what everyone else is seeing and is trying to at least hedge his bets in the opposite direction. A lot of people also forget that as our media cycle and attention cycle gets shorter and shorter, as our media cycle and our attention cycle gets shorter and shorter, the maximum impact is happening right now, literally in these last couple of days. This last week is a very impactful week. I am going, I might be a little overboard by saying this, but like the Tony Hinchcliffe Trash Island line was legitimately impactful. This is when people are fucking signing up. This is when people are paying attention, when they're like, look, there's an election going on. Let me take a look. Damn.
Tony Hinchcliffe, man. I kind of almost. I might pick up gameplay. Let me see. Look like it. Yeah. I mean, what a disaster. Why was he right after the national anthem? Seriously, these clueless Republicans, I mean, they're so focused on being as fashy as possible and trying to convince people that they're not fashy that they just like let shit slip, man. Like this is that was dumb. What were they thinking? They're not thinking. You want to ask, like, what were they thinking? They obviously weren't. They're like, I think, who said it? May have been Hassan who said this shit. But they're in a bubble. Like a weird, no, I think, no, it was Emma Vigeland from Majority Report. They're in such a tight internet little bubble that they think they can say this shit in the real world and no consequences. It's absurd. I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe, like, I don't even blame him. The dude's a roast comic. And like, if that was like Comedy Central's roast of Puerto Rico, that would have been pretty funny. But it wasn't. It was the proposal for our fucking future, a country, and who's gonna lead us. So like, the roast comedy isn't really. It's the wrong crowd. No one's there to see a roast. Everyone's there to see well, I mean, as far as the Trump rally goes, everyone's there to see, you know, your one leader. There's ein Rank, ein Führer, ein there's three of them. The old German Nazi slogan: one leader, one ruler, one nation.
UAV above. TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
It's like a source of pride for when you're too dumb to like to be prideful about anything.
Marksman shooting.
Punch you. Good punch. Dude, I'm killing this game, man. This is the best I've ever done in a Call of Duty game. I honestly think I'm going positive right now, and that's like nuts. This will be like the first Call of Duty game where it's like I come out swinging. The movement is. The movement is delicious. Like, so delicious. Plus, it makes me feel good.
TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
Gotcha, bitch. Literally, I think Dave Chappelle's best contribution to the collective consciousness. Gotcha, bitch.
You gonna let a bunch of company assholes beat you?
So useful.
Fight back, damn it!
Oh, I'll take all these. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mine. Mine now. Daddy. I'm gonna just chill with YouTube for a second. Maybe I'll chat with nobody since I'm that level of buzz. The only the second I can get people watching this this stream, the second I can get that going, I can stop drinking. Right now, the only way I can talk like this, like I'm right now, to like buddy, like talking to the fucking air, petitioning an empty sky. The only way I can do it out loud when I drink. And but if I can get anyone to talk to, I won't have to drink. Because then I can just like, I like to bounce. Give me some bounces. Bounce off people. If I can't bounce off the people, I'm kind of daft. I need to get intoxicated. So I can just babble. Love it. Was I don't even know if I was going towards the camo or whatnot. 1? Really? Jesus. Guys, I still need like 13 more before I can even work on gold. Gold's what, double kills? Easy peasy. Okay. Look at this. Let's just jump right in. I feel like I want to play Nuketown because I love, first of all, Nuketown. Fantastic map. Obviously, one of the best maps ever created in any arcade FPS shooter. I said first-person shooter. I know, I have a feeling that this playlist is going to be here in perpetuity. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I can kind of jump into it whenever I want. Like, it's not going to go. What if it does? There's no way. I wish I had someone I can with who's willing to take the bet that, like, I think Nuketown 24/7 playlist is never going to go away. Like, ever. I want to make the bet with someone who thinks, like, they're going to take it away. They're going to put a new map 24/7. No, I did. Based on the way Treyarch worked in the past. I'm going to say this is Nuketown 24/7. It's 2-8 kids. It's not going to. Who wants to bet? Who wants to throw some papers and his edge? Excuse me. Dude, my neighbors are watching Hell's Kitchen again. I'm kind of into it. I might have to. I can figure out which apartment is theirs. Like, should I go over there and be like, "This is the shit. Can I please watch it with you? Y'all smoke? Yeah, I got that ganji. We can just like chill." Just think about it. Until then, and then I'll ask if they play. We're going to Nuketown. What are we even talking about? Hey chat, should I roll a joint? Put up a poll. Hey Betty Butters, thanks for the 10 trillion bits. The butt.
He said Puerto Rico's a trash island? What the fuck? And I think, is there a good progressive voting guide I can use for LA County? What we'd be using? DSA-LA is pretty good. Just use that. So I think that like that's something that people need to pay attention to. I'm Puerto Rican American and my whole family was enraged when they heard that comment. We all voted against Trump. Yep. I go to high school in Florida with tons of Latinos, mostly Puerto Rican and typically Andrew Tate type guys are saying Trump. Dude, if that statement, if that line, if the trash island line causes Voldemort to lose his fucking Senate run, I will die. Okay? That will be a glorious moment. Can you imagine? Turnout is bad in Philadelphia for some of the deepest blue areas. She's not going to hit the numbers she needs unless whites vote for her at a level we've not seen for a Democrat in decades. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I agree with that. That's what I've been saying as well. I think like this is a race that is going to inevitably come down to white women, and this is
hostile UAV established overhead.
This is a race that is going to inevitably come down to white women, specifically in the suburbs, and maybe some white men too, but most importantly, white women. That is what Kamala Harris is hinging her bets on. I think it's a bad bet. I think it's a risky bet. I think it's not a good idea at all. But I still do think that it's going to carry her across the finish line. I think also that Donald Trump's objectively awful run is helping Kamala Harris because it's just reminding people of all of his worst qualities in general. Yeah, this is here. If you want to understand like how bad Trump is, how sauceless Trump is, this article, I think, does a pretty decent job of uncovering the problem. At the end of June, in the afterglow of a debate performance that would ultimately prompt President Joe Biden to end his campaign for re-election, Donald Trump startled his aides by announcing he'd come up with a new nickname for his opponent. The guy is an R-word. He is R-worded. I think that's what I'll start calling him. Trump declared aboard his campaign plane en route to a rally that evening in court.
No. No, are you kidding me?
According to the three people who heard him make the remarks, R-worded Joe Biden. That, like, I'm telling you right now, Chad, this is it. This is when you did too much internet. You did too much internet. You cannot run a campaign like this.
Can't be real.
You did too much damn internet, man. That's crazy. Normies don't care about ableism, though. Brother, literally in the real world, everyone says retard, okay? I'm just gonna use it for now, for 1 month.
You shouldn't. You fucking shouldn't. Son. That's honestly, it's like, all slurs are terrible. But I think that, like, the R word is, like, the fucking meanest. And the most, like...
Hardpoint lockdown. Enemy UAV inbound.
I mean, it's just as bad as the N-word in my opinion. And when people fucking use it, it's like fuck shit. It's just.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Moment, just so you understand, every normal person uses it in normal conversations. Not a single person. Notice how you reacted when I said it. Not a single person would ever find it normal for the president to say it. Do you not understand that?
Normal people shouldn't be fucking saying that, son. I hope he gets some pushback for that.
Repeating over and over and over again about, this is the exact same sentiment I am repeating over and over again about people who go above the boundary of permissible bigotry. Everyone has a very different set of standards, okay? For example, I myself as a public figure, okay? I myself as a public figure do not use this word because there is
it can't be just because you're a public figure. It is just mean. Our slur is like the meanest slur. I mean, it's not. It's like I said, that's the N-word, in my opinion.
Hostile UAV established overhead.
It just.
Hardpoint is secure.
It's people who have mental disabilities. It's not their fucking fault. And it's like, you have no idea what to do with it. And it's like, the idea makes me really fucking sad. Like,
hostiles have the hard point.
Shit, I'm frozen.
Enemy UAV inbound.
It's like kicking puppies. I think my one friend who's a big Joe Rogan fan now, he had a pretty good saying though. It's like something like that. It's like kicking puppies. Fuck. It's like fucking no reason. Get to be sick.
Incoming.
In my opinion, you have to be a sick puppy. It's like a mean-spirited kid.
Hardpoint is active.
He either needs to like take a long look in the mirror and change their ways, or just
napalm strike inbound.
In Minecraft.
A different
and in
standard for content creators. There's a different standard for progressive content creators. There's a different standard in comparison to the guys you went to college with. Okay? Do you not understand it? You just did? Yes, dude, I did. It's obviously not to the same standard as the N-word. Shut the fuck up, clip it, ship it, post it everywhere you want.
No, man, I'm sorry, it is. I'm gonna say it is, dude. I mean, because they're incomparable, to be honest. So I say that they're just as bad, but in a different way. You can't compare the two because it's different, completely different context. The N-word is like a historical, like, word that specifically signifies like white supremacy. It's just the ultimate signifier of how black people in America are stripped of their history and their ethnicity. Like the cracker mocking it. That's the word. The answer is that. It's the mockery of fact that crackers destroyed black people too, and made them have to start here in this.
We've given up the lead.
American black people, their history starts here, and it's unforgivable. They should never forget the crackers for doing it.
Hardpoint locked down.
The arsenal is just like, it's being on like for a completely different reason.
We've taken the lead. Stay on top.
But as far as like, shittiest, even fucking say it, like,
Deploying RCXD.
who actually said it have to be like a complete fucking shit ass.
Have the hard point.
Yeah, it's.
They've taken the lead.
First, they're awful.
Hard point is secure.
And like this whole like, oh, it's not as bad as it's not comparable. It's not bad as
Sniper road. Hard point located.
you know, it's not bad to say cracker, but shit.
Hard point locked down. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point active.
Okay, most people, especially younger people, might use it, but when the president himself is saying it, that's an entirely different thing. Okay? Do you understand? I have no idea why it's even considered a word you can't say. It's the euphemism treadmill. Originally, idiot was the unacceptable word, so people started using the R word as a substitute. Now the R word is also unacceptable, but idiot is back in fashion, and it is what it is. People always will seek out a new pejorative. People will always seek out a new pejorative. That's just a normal thing. That's just how normal communication works. I use a litany of different ableist language, in general, like psychotic, crazy, you know, things like that. Synonyms. I am not pro R word. Why are we pro R word now? No, dude, I'm not. Not only am I not pro R word,
you shouldn't be anywhere near it.
It's insane for a presidential candidate to come out. Oh my God. I am not. Don't say it then. Simple. Okay, I'm gonna start banning people. All right. They've been calling you autistic for the past month, but they're gonna be mad you said the R word. Yeah, I know. It's fine. I mean, I'm also incredibly neurodivergent myself, as you guys can know, but that's besides the point. It doesn't matter. Hassan, you're digging yourself into a hole. I'm not. The point is, you can't do this, and you certainly cannot do this as the president.
Never say any slur.
In my opinion, when the standards are different for someone who is technically a progressive content creator, right? Like, I'm certain that most Twitch streamers say it still. They let it fly, like, with regular frequency, okay? And even in a relatively contextually appropriate manner, it's still an unacceptable thing to say because the standards are different for a public figure, okay? No, hey, I don't care that much, but it's not like you had to say it to make your point. I think that's what some people are mad about. Yeah, I don't care. You can be mad about it all day, every day.
You should care, dude.
Okay, let's continue. You got people on TikTok.
It's fucking mean as fuck, bro.
Restarted. They'll be fine. If anything, more people will respect you for saying the full word instead of TikTok buzzword. Yeah, like a lot of people look for.
Honestly, like I'll get just as mad at somebody if I hear them using the R slur as I would if they N-word, F slur, or I use the C word. I don't use it for.
Get serious,
I just use it for
Hostile UAV established overhead.
And I knew I could see this. But I should take it out now. It's kind of difficult. I'm working.
For like alternatives, but that is besides the point. Okay.
Same with the B word.
This is extremely online. You're hyper online. When you're the president and you think that this is an appropriate
And it's not
thing
because
to
I'm
say,
a misogynist.
it plays
Because it's
the larger problem with the Trump
of
campaign.
hogs and fucking
That is the point I was trying to make.
mixed blades, if you will. But it's still hard
Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Benign Burger, thank you for the 20 gift subs. Now, having said that, of course, people use the word in private or in normal conversation everywhere outside of spaces like my own community. That even those people who use the word would find it appropriate for the president to say it. The standards are different. Anyway, I don't think his voters care, unfortunately. No, but there are people who literally, oh God, there are people who don't like Trump. They like the policies, but they can't stand how fucking annoying it is. Okay? Do you get it? Like, they can't stand how unprofessional, how crass, how rude he is. And for those people, this kind of thing...
Why would he say that? And what I want to know the context.
Or Trump even thinking that it would be a fantastic idea.
Not that that would help at all, but I'm just curious.
Stage against Joe Biden, who ironically is experiencing like genuine mental decline. So I think it even is worse, right? Like, that makes it even worse. It's like saying that to someone with Down syndrome at that point. It's like you are a vicious, monstrous piece of you are a vicious, monstrous piece of shit. Like, this was something that was a big deal in the debate, right? It was something that was a big deal in the debate. Like, Trump could not come across as though he was too aggressive towards Joe Biden, because then he would look like he was badgering an old man, kicking an old man who, while the old man is down. This is the type of stuff that like normies, no, he didn't actually use it. He said he wanted to use it. He didn't actually use it in public. That would have been crazy if he did. Not equipped to talk about this. Please move on from this. Yikes. Not equipped to talk about this on a serious level. Anyway, he also called Kamala R-worded. A frustrated Trump lashes out behind closed doors. Oh yeah, this was he's using gamer words, dude. He's going nutty. Isn't Trump on a mental decline as well? Yes, he is, for sure. And I'm actually going to get to that. That's like one of the main stories that I wanted to talk about today. Rick Scott was clearly panicking during the rally. All these male right-wing figures don't realize that not everyone finds their echo chamber talk acceptable. Exactly. This is the JD Vance issue, right? JD Vance spent too much time on the right-wing podcaster circuit, so he's too groiped up. He had to fucking dial it back. He can't be talking about femoids who are, brood mares, right? Like, he can't do that, because if you are doing a national campaign, if you're running for the highest office, if you're the vice president, you can't be fucking coming across like a weird breeding fetishist, right? Like, that kind of stuff might play well in a hyper niche environment where you're surrounded by all of these other freaks, right? But that shit is not going to fly in a national campaign, just because, like, this is a massively consequential. I feel like a certain community has trigger phrases they send to you, which they deem successful in getting your attention. Maybe. But it doesn't really matter. We ban them anyway. Like, if you're the type of person who in a conversation where I'm like directly talking about the different standards set for people and how like it's, not acceptable to use the R word as a prominent person on a national stage when you're running for fucking office, if your hyper focus is like me contextually using it, then, you're not a serious person at all. It doesn't matter. Anyway, please tell me they don't actually say broodmares. No, but they liken it to the same situation. It's like calling your girl a bitch around your friends, but when some random says it becomes completely inappropriate. Yeah, it's like, when Cutie, Cinderella, and myself and Will, like, we'll be talking shit to one another on the podcast, right? Like, we're obviously friends with one another. Like, when Will be like, you wet bitch to Cutie, or when I say that, it's like, it's like entirely different than like someone who does not know Cutie Cinderella calling her a bitch. That is the most unacceptable thing you can do. Contextually appropriate scenarios, contextually inappropriate scenarios, while still, you know, being edgy. But yes,
Selena Wang is covering Vice President Harris and joins us from Milwaukee. Selena, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. Vice President Harris and Donald Trump are fighting for that sliver of undecided voters in Wisconsin. Both of them holding rallies here in Milwaukee last night. The vice president calling for unity and condemning Trump's violent language. Overnight, Vice President Kamala Harris making an all-out push in battleground Wisconsin.
If you give me the chance to fight on your behalf, there is nothing that will stand in my way as I fight for you.
Leaning on superstar Cardi B and celebrity rappers to get out the vote.
If his definition of protection is
I love Glorilla and Cardi B too.
making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it!
Harris making her pitch for unity.
It is my pledge to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans.
We're gonna get to Trump in a second. Connor East Pans literally fucking texted me the Trump deep throat thing while I was doing the podcast. He's like, you have to see this. And I'm going to get to that. He's lost his sauce. He's losing his mind a little bit. We're going to take a look.
That is my pledge to you, Wisconsin.
The vice president firing up young voters.
You are determined to live free from guns, to take on the climate crisis. And I see you, and I see your power.
And while speaking to union workers, Harris pledging to lower the cost of living.
And at the top of my list is bringing down your cost of living. And it will be my focus every single day as president. I will always put the middle class first. I come from the middle class, and I never forget where I come from. I never.
The vice president condemning Donald Trump after he used violent rhetoric against former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, one of Trump's most outspoken critics.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Harris reacting with harsh criticism.
This must be disqualifying. Anyone who wants to be president of the United States who uses that kind of violent rhetoric is clearly disqualified and unqualified to be president.
But Trump defending his rhetoric.
Was it necessary to make the comments about Liz Cheney?
Oh, yeah, sure. She's a war hawk.
Yeah, so the chicken hawk stuff is silly. It's like liberal shit. Like he very clearly was, I mean, he was invoking the firing squad analogy, certainly, when said like 9 barrels pointed at her. But like he absolutely was doing the classic chicken hawk shit. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're not old enough to remember, but back when people were actually anti-war in the Democratic Party, we used to say this about the Cheneys in general. We used to say this about George W. Bush. We used to say this about all politicians. This was a common trope in the anti-war movement in the Vietnam era. This is what Fortunate Son is literally about, okay? When you hear the
CCR?
That
I think it is.
CCR song is directly about how rich people don't go to war, senators don't go to war, senators' children don't go into war. It's the poor people that are drafted to go die in a war.
Based. CCR
Okay?
based as fuck.
That is the whole point.
Fucking Zach at H3 fucking thinking he's cursed by CCR when they're dropping like the most based shit possible. Figures. H3 right wing fucking dog shit. Eat a dick.
And someone reported Trump to the FBI for that statement. Yeah. It's funny because like obviously Elon Musk has said like incredibly violent shit, like way more violent shit than that. Trump has said way more directly violent things than that, made more violent promises, right? In terms of like sicking the military on his enemies, the enemy from within. These are actually violent statements. Him saying that like give a gun to Liz Cheney and have her sit in front of 9 barrels and let's see how she likes it, is just him basically invoking the age-old adage that these people would have a very different attitude if their lives were actually on the line. They would not be advocating to go to these wars in the same way that they do now, because they know that they will never suffer the worst consequences. That's all it is. And I don't like it because like it gives more motion and more momentum to Donald Trump to portray himself as like someone who is constantly clipped out of context in an area where he is now in the last moment where all eyes are on both of these campaigns. In the last moment, he can present himself as anti-war now. Why are you downplaying this? I'm not. I'm offering you actual context to his statements. He has said infinitely more violent shit. This does not meet that standard. And not only that, but also consistently hyper-focusing on this statement as though this is the most violent thing that he has actually said, unironically allows him to look at the entire fucking field of play and say, see, I'm anti-war. I said she wouldn't want to go. If she had to go to war, she'd have a very different attitude. And the media is lying because the media loves war. They're in the tank for Kamala Harris, who also loves war. Okay, I can't believe we're going to click on this, but Glenn Greenwald is not wrong. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's staggering to watch, especially since I was part of the group who was saying this. Now to watch these people turn around and faint with horror when Trump says the exact same thing is suffocating. The stench of their shameless dishonesty could choke an elephant to death. Democrats spent 25 years saying that Dick Cheney's kids should have to go fight in a war, and all it took was Donald Trump agreeing with him, with them to change their minds. I cannot believe I'm like, under no circumstances do you have to hand it to fucking Glenn Greenwald. But in this situation, it is dangerously allowing an opportunity for Donald Trump to turn around and present himself as anti-war again and again and again. Every single time this kind of shit plays in mainstream media, Fox News and all the fucking right-wing commentators can turn around and disingenuously present themselves as anti-war, as Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are so pro-war. They're so, they're so pro-endless wars. The reality of the matter is Trump is also pro-endless wars. There is a uniparty approach to war, okay? But if one party is not saying anything, about the endless wars, or maybe even, dare I say, defending the concept of endless wars, and the other party, on the other hand, is at least presenting themselves as anti-war, this gives them an opportunity, this gives them an advantage over the other party, because Americans broadly consider themselves to be anti-war. Okay? While both parties are pro-war and pro-genocide, the obviously pro-war and pro party, which is the Republican Party as well, at least historically, is now at the very least trying to present themselves as people that want to end the wars. And they do it in a way that actually, that is, I think, great for the hogs to comprehend. Peace through strength. Okay? They present strength and they say, I'm going to be dominant, I'm going to be crazy, I'm going to fucking, light the oil refineries on fire or whatever, the Iranian nuclear facilities on fire in an effort to stop them. Now, we, who understand what that means, who understand the track record of the Republican Party, look at that and go, oh my God, that is an escalation. But most dummies look at that and go, well, Trump, no new wars under his administration is the way they analyze the situation. They don't think about the Abraham Accords. They don't think about the Iran denuclearization agreement. And the Democrats have not communicated that there is a difference there between them and the Republican Party. This allows them to basically fucking run the table on this shit. I understand the whole peaceful dope stuff, but is he really doing effective messaging in that regard? He hasn't so far because he's flubbed it too many times. He's flubbed it too many times. Having said that, however, this is when people are tuning in. This is when people are paying the most attention. You don't want this to be in the media cycle. You don't want this like, oh, Democrats are saying like he wanted to fucking line up Liz Cheney and kill her. And then you're in defense of Liz Cheney while Donald Trump has 30 points on you on Israel-Palestine. You don't want that, okay? You do not want that. That is a terrible place to be in. This is what happened in 2016. This is how Donald Trump was able to successfully make himself seem like a moderate and an anti-war peaceful dove candidate against Hillary Clinton. Okay? This is how you get a lot of people who are, you know, who fancy themselves to be anti-war to like falsely believe that the side that is at least communicating an anti-war message, they falsely start believing the side that's at least communicating an anti-war message into being actually anti-war when they are not anti-war. Make no mistake. It is a very frustrating thing to watch unfold, and I don't know how many times I have to explain how dangerous this is. So if Rebs lie, why can't Kamala at least lie? Well, you have just arrived at my, what I've been saying, non-fucking stop. Goes to Milwaukee to insult Giannis. If he goes to Pennsylvania and says Joe Flacco was better than Ben Roethlisberger, and then goes to North Carolina and does a rally with Coach K, I'm going to assume he's trying to throw this thing.
Your team is very good. I would say the Greek is a seriously good player. Do you agree? And tell me, who has more Greek in him? The Greek or me? About the same, right?
Oh my God, that's insane. Bro, that's a major point of contention, dude. That is unimaginably racist, dude. Oh my God. Then Ben Roethlisberger, and then goes to North Carolina and does a rally with Coach K. I'm going to assume he's trying to throw this thing.
Your team is very good. I would say the Greek is a seriously good player. Do you agree? And tell me, who has more Greek in him? The Greek or me? About the same, right?
Securing C. Securing B. B secured.
My
I don't know who he's talking about.
Insane. Bro, that's a major point of contention, dude. That is unimaginably racist, dude. Oh my God. The Bucks are ass is the worst part. Brother, it doesn't matter. Bro, I don't get it. Giannis is calling him the Greek and not the Greek freak is also funny. Yeah. So, okay. Giannis, who's okay, I don't want to, I'm going to his last name. Giannis Antetokounmpo, did I say it correctly? Also known as the Greek Freak, okay, is a Milwaukee Bucks power forward, okay? And
I fucking knew this was sports.
Son of immigrants from Nigeria. Okay, and his father was a soccer player, his mother was a high jumper in Nigeria. 3 years earlier, they had moved from Lagos, leaving their firstborn son, Francis, under the care of his grandparents. Antetokounmpo grew up in the Athens neighborhood of Sepolia in a primarily Nigerian household. His parents, as immigrants, worked without permits, could not easily find work, so Giannis and his older brother, Thanasis, helped by hawking watches, handbags, and sunglasses in the streets. In 2007, Antetokounmpo started playing basketball. Antetokounmpo. Okay, Greek freak. So he has an incredible story of perseverance through tremendous hardships. But the fact that he is like saying, "Thank God I was warned that you cover political and sensitive subjects." Yeah, you got it. Don't worry. So you have been saying it correctly. Okay, thank you. So the fact that like he is questioning his like Greek background, that is like been a point of controversy because he didn't even immediately gain his Greek citizenship. Look, they were born in Greece. They did not automatically receive Greek citizenship as Greek nationality law follows just sanguinis. Growing up, he sometimes felt like an outsider to both the Greek and Nigerian communities in Athens due to his parents' heritage and different skin color in the former, and due to the lack of understanding of the Yoruba or Igbo languages in the latter. For the first 18 years of his life, Antetokounmpo could not travel outside the country and was effectively stateless, having no papers from Greece or Nigeria. He was eventually issued Greek citizenship on May 9th, 2013, less than 2 months before the NBA draft. After gaining Greek citizenship, his official surname became the Greek transcription of Antetokounmpo, which was then transliterated letter for letter and officially spelled in his Greek passport as Antetokounmpo. Giannis is a modern Greek variant of Giannis John. Because many NBA fans could not pronounce his name, he quickly became known as the Greek Freak. He also now holds a Nigerian citizenship, having received his Nigerian passport in 2015 and such possesses dual citizenship. He has stated that he feels both Greek and Nigerian and that he embraces his both Greek and as well as African Nigerian identity. So do not bring up the fact that he is not a Turkish freak. I know his parents should have come to Turkey. They would have immediately gotten citizenship and he wouldn't have had to ball super hard to be able to achieve that status, okay? I don't want to get into it. It's a major L for the Turkish government. The Turkish government should offer a welcoming hand to every migrant, okay? I think that they were literally in Turkey and they were I don't know if it's like a I don't know if that's like a fucking fake Greek lie made up or if they actually were driven out of Turkey. Don't be sad, bro. You got NS Contact. Yeah, he sucks. He is so fake for this, not because it's subtly racist, but we are ass right now. This is not fair to Giannis, as we have Pat Connaughton playing terrorist basketball in Doc Rivers. They were actually drove out of Turkey before he was born. That seems like it's Greek propaganda. I'm just going to say it. But the point is, Trump claiming that he is just as Greek as Giannis is just a not so subtle white supremacist dog whistle. Do you understand? Like, he just straight up talking about a dude who has had tremendous hardships specifically because he was considered literally stateless in Greece, okay, for most of his fucking life. To say that he is not real, he's not a true Greek, and that like, oh, I might be just as Greek as he is, that is incredibly fucking racist. Yeah, thank God we have Şengün, Alperen Şengün, my goat. So yeah, it is a truly racist remark to question the nationality status of a Nigerian immigrant because they are black and because they're Nigerian. Like, you would never say that about a white person from the Balkans that moved to Greece or some shit. That would not happen. No one would ever point to that. Okay? Absolutely not. And it's exactly the same kind of racist sentiment that is the underpinning of his white nativist anti-immigrant policies anyway. So it's shocking that he would say that. It's not shocking that people in that audience would laugh at that, but it is interesting to think that would be appropriate to say in fucking Milwaukee of all places.
In these final days, Vice President Harris is stressing that Donald Trump's language is becoming more extreme. And we're learning new details about Harris's plans the day before the election. Her campaign is planning to hold rallies in all 7 battlegrounds, tying them together in a national live stream. Gio?
All right, Selena, thank you so much.
No, right where that young lady is, John is sitting there, and I called him, I said, could you come back? And he comes backstage.
Here's the dick-sucking moment. My asexual, biromantic, autistic queen. He's just queening, okay? He's doing the damn thing. I need you to understand, okay? A lot of you do not understand the autistic, aromantic, bisexual swag that Donald Trump has. He is stimming here, okay? You're gonna watch a man stim, and I don't want you to be fucking ableist, all right? I gotta pee.
You gotta be kidding. Do you want to see me knock the hell out of people backstage? I don't mind if they want to come up a little forward or something, but it's a pretty stupid situation, but that's okay. I get so angry, I'm up here seething. I'm seething. I'm working my ass off with this stupid mic. I'm blowing out my left arm. Now I'm going to blow out my right arm, and I'm blowing out my damn throat, too, because these stupid people. I'll make you a deal. Pretend you're listening to it perfectly, and I'll come back and do another one, okay? With a decent... So stupid. And you know, the only thing I ask for, I don't care about lighting. I don't care about teleprompters, because I never read the damn things anyway. By the way, isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a frickin' teleprompter? But I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. The only thing I ask for is a good mic. And this is the second time today that this happened. So now if I were the president, and you know, like a dopey guy like this Kelly, the guy's a total moron, and that happened, I'd fire him, and everybody would say, gee, I'm such a bad person. You're not bad. You fire people. For instance, the generals that destroyed us in Afghanistan. Every one of them should have been fired. Should have been fired. Hello? I don't think so. Hello? Is that better? Is that better?
I know what he's going through better than anybody else, dude. There is nothing more annoying than audio issues in front of a crowded arena, okay? This is, I feel like the experience that he's having right now is straight up one-to-one, like something that I can comprehend better than anybody else, okay?
That's terrible. Is that better back there?
Better than
Is that
anyone
yes or
else.
no?
Today used to be in a professional band.
The only thing I asked for is a mic. You don't have to give, I don't even need a stage. I don't give a damn. Give me a good mic, and I went through 2 of these today. And it knocks the hell out of your throat. But so far I'm doing okay, right? Okay. Is that better? Yeah. And did you notice I came in today, I said, and you know, this is after 4 of these things I've been in all fairness. I mean, I'm a human being, right? I come in, and here's the problem. Way too low. Way too low. So I walk in, I said, shit, there's nothing worse than I walk in like this, and I'm, did you notice? I was bending over like this, hello. And then everybody says, is there something wrong with this?
Did I miss the gluck gluck? Hold up.
Yes, I've been in all fairness. I mean, I'm a human being, right? I come in, and here's the problem.
This is, what is he doing? What the hell is going on, dude? What the hell is going on? What the hell? Sauceless? Has he lost it? Or does the sauce remain?
Wait!
How is it the worst rally? Your assessment went array? No, I hadn't seen it. I only saw clips of it, and I was like, I'm like, I feel like he's losing it a little bit.
Too low. Way too low. So I walk in, I said, shit, there's nothing worse than I walk in like this, and did you notice? I was bending over like this. And then everybody says, is there something wrong with his back? What the hell is wrong with that guy? They're saying he's cognitively impaired and physically impaired. There's something wrong with them all because I have guys that are stupid back there. All right, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, right? What a shame. But we're gonna come back. I'm gonna give you a free performance back in that corner. You got a bad area back there. But I think this is better. I think it's probably better.
And to the Republican side now with former President Trump.
There was the end of the rally that I thought was crazy. Also, Faker. Which 3 celebrities do you want to have a meal with? Song Heung-min, Woo Sung-hyuk, and Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud is, you know, that's why he's the president. That's why he's my president, okay? November surprise, Trump is by. That's not a surprise. Last YouGov/Times poll in battleground state, Arizona, Trump up by 1, Georgia, Trump up by 2, North Carolina, Trump up by 1. Nevada showing Harris +1, Pennsylvania Harris +2, Michigan Harris +2, Wisconsin Harris +3. This is a lock for Harris to win. For the record, like, she just needs this. I mean, she needs this. And if this comes as well alongside it. And that is their pathway to victory.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Just want to mention, Trump just called his employees stupid in front of a rally. Luckily, he didn't say garbage. I mean, Trump has called his own supporters garbage. Trump has called the cities that he's attended garbage. Trump has called Democrats garbage. Trump has said, Trump can say whatever he wants, chat. Think about it this way. The dynamic is the exact same. I'm gonna like reduce it to online drama, okay? In the field of online commentary, if you're presenting yourself as a right-winger or even a bad guy, okay, nobody's expectations of you are high. The standard is already set for you. You can get away with doing whatever the you want. You can do bad guy shit all day, every day. And not only can you do bad guy shit all day, every day, you can then turn around and point to someone like myself and say, that is actually a real bad guy because he's hypocritical, okay? Because the standards, if you are at least on the progressive side, ostensibly, okay, the standards are unimaginably high. And it's oftentimes not even a standard set by yourself. People can just like make up whatever standard you should have and then call you hypocritical for not abiding by the fake standard that they set for you, okay? That's it. people who are apolitical or right-wing can get away with you being like, I'm a sociopath, I'm a bad person, I don't give a fuck about anything, I'm selfish, I'm only interested in myself. And people will go, hell yeah, brother, he's just like me, he's being honest, he's being real, he's being a real one right now. Okay? And then they can also turn around and go, that guy is faking being a good guy. He's actually a piece of shit. And people go, yeah, you're right. He tells it like it is. That guy does suck. That's the reality in the political stage as well. Donald Trump is a bad guy, and he has successfully set his own standards for himself. He can say whatever the fuck he wants, and the media just basically goes along with that. What are you going to do? That's just Trump, you know? That's just Trump. And I think, yes, I know Van had a really good take on this. It is also obviously white supremacy as well. Like white mediocrity plays a role in this as well, certainly. But I think it's beyond that because Bernie Sanders is a white guy. Think about the unimaginable standards placed upon Bernard Sanders. Why? Because he's a socialist, right? He's an old socialist guy. So they were like, oh, I can't believe you have 3 houses, Bernie, you fake ass, you phony. It's like his retirement fund is marginal in comparison to like the average accountant, okay? And people are losing their minds over it. As a matter of fact, even leftists do the same thing, okay? Even leftists do it to other leftists. Think about it. Immediately someone's like, he's a Zionist. In terms of like Bernie Sanders' advocacy against Israel, he has literally gone above and beyond for the 800 years that he's been in Congress in terms of like trying to put enforcements on the weapons transfers to Israel before half of these fuckers that are, you know, angry at him. And I myself am critical of his position as well, for the record. But like, having said that, I'm also more understanding of you know, where he's at, okay, or where he's coming from. It's kind of crazy to just be like, it sucks when you're thinking about a guy who was literally saying things that were completely considered unacceptable about Israel before you even developed consciousness, okay? Like, before you knew what Israel even fucking was. So we do this. We also do this to ourselves. We think it's self-crit. We think it's, you know, it's just a tendency that people have, you know? Yeah, Bernie brought up Gaza in the 2020 primary debates. Unheard of. Bernie literally also straightforwardly said, I want to stop weapons transfers to Israel. I want to do conditional aid to Israel in 2016 and 2020. Think about that. And that's how it is. Some of these white leftists think they're a third world mouse in the way they speak instead of actually doing proper analysis of the Imperial Core Law. Exactly. So you watching the Ringer podcast takes makes me so happy. You helping pay my salary. What? Ringer podcast takes.
This is a big shit.
Why does population density affect libertarianism? No, population density affects liberalism.
On the campaign trail, Vice President Harris and former President
Trump repeats harsh rhetoric and sit down with Tucker Carlson in final sprint through election day. So we're going to be talking about Trump's comments about Liz Cheney here. And I am actually going to defend Donald Trump, and it's not because of this song. It's not. That's not the reason. That's not the reason. Many might think, Hassan, at the top of the hour, you play this song all the time. And then you urge us to subscribe, even though you don't play ads anymore. You're just brainwashing us into vote por Trump, Donald Trump. Oh my God, I'm going to vote. I love that song. That song isn't even funny. It's not. It's a fucking banger. What are you talking about? It's not funny at all. It's just an absolute slapper, dude. If you catch yourself humming this fucking incredible tune when you're at a polling station come Tuesday, they will kick you out. I'm just letting you know. They'll say you are electioneering and they'll kick you out.
George, good morning to you. 4 days out from Election Day, Donald Trump making this swing out west, using increasingly dark and violent rhetoric against his political rivals. And this morning, he's promising to elevate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., someone who has pushed a range of conspiracy theories about vaccines to oversee public health agencies and women's health, too.
So I'm here for one simple reason. I like you very much, and it's good for my credentials with the Hispanic or Latino community. I love the Hispanics.
With just days to go, the former president
What does that
also
even mean,
announcing-
though?
Okay, he's just begging me to play the song, bro.
Like, I can be like, I love the Polish stuff, but it's like, what does that like actually mean? Substance. Because you can see, like, you can love shit all fucking day. I love the sky. I love the environment. Are you doing anything to protect it? No. I love my Latinos and my. What are you doing for them? Well, you know, I'm for them.
Oh, he just
Love
begging me to play the fucking song. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it. Kaya, come here. Come here. Vote for Trump. Oh my God. I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump.
2016, the leaders and heroes of the Republican Party were the Bush and Cheney families. Is it weird for you to see Liz Cheney, that'd be Dick Cheney's repulsive little daughter, running against you with Kamala Harris?
Well, I think it hurts Kamala a lot, actually. Look, she's a deranged person. The reason she doesn't
projection
like me is that she wanted to stay in Iraq. She wanted to stay. She wants to, you know, tough person. You know, people get killed all over. She's real tough, right? They're not the tough people. But the reason she couldn't stand me is that
he doesn't even like walk normal. Or it's like, I'm sorry, but his supporters aren't even more because it's impossible.
she always wanted to go to war with people. I don't want to go to war. She wanted to stay in Syria. I took them out. She wanted to stay in Iraq. I took them out. I mean, if it were up to her, we'd be in 50 different countries.
Wasn't that Obama?
And you know, number one, it's very dangerous. Number two, a lot of people get killed. And number three, I mean, it's very, very expensive. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We go, you know, it used to be you go to war to the victor belong the spoils, right? In other words, if you beat a country, you own that country, you take the oil. We go to war, we bomb the crap out of it, then we leave. You know, it's almost like, what are we doing? What's going on? We bombed the whole Middle East, and then we left. What did we get? We got nothing. We destroyed. I mean, we bombed the hell out of everything. You know, when they took out Iraq for 1,000 years with different names, Iran and Iraq, Sunni powers, they were the two big ones. And for 1,000 years, they would fight each other this way, this way, this way, then they'd rest this way, this.
I think it's wild that Trump nailed the exact, like, dumb American guy's attitude about being anti-war, by the way, because he's like, you know, if you're going to go to war, you might as well steal all the resources, which we do, by the way, but Americans don't understand it, and they don't actually see the immediate benefit, the immediate material benefit of it, because, like, it's either going to the black budgets of the CIA in the terms of, like, the poppy fields in Afghanistan, or it's going to, you know, Western oil refiners, like the oil giants in the West, and that's not directly going into, like, American coffers, right? Yeah, we do extract the loot. It's just, like, privatized. But that right there is, like, a perfect way to claim anti-war. We're just bombing the Middle East and not even taking the loot. But in terms of Liz Cheney, you're right. I'm actually going to point out once again how bad Trump has been in comparison to 2016, because the moment that Kamala Harris was like, oh, Liz Cheney is my goat, he should have been saying this. He should have been like, nonstop at every rally, you're like, Liz Cheney sucks. She wants to do endless war. I'm the peaceful candidate. I said it back then. I was like, this gives an incredible opening to the Republicans to present themselves once again as the anti-war candidates. Even though, you know, it's a lie friend brought this up to me, and I've never thought about it because I haven't seen any classified evidence for it. But do you think the part of the reason why we invaded Afghanistan and Iraq were because they're the countries directly to the east and west of Iran, and the State Department wanted to invade Iran down the line? I mean, in theory, yes, that is absolutely true. That was the neocon pipe dream, which is like full-scale invasion of. Iraq was oil, for the record. It was far before anything else. Like Dick Cheney wanted to invade Iraq and take the sweet, juicy oil. But as far as like Iran, yes, destabilizing or maybe even full tilt invading Iran was always also for oil and has always been like the final crowning achievement of the neocons. That's why we say that Kamala Harris did not have to give any concessions to get Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney on board, because like this current Democratic administration is basically achieving that agenda, the dream of like active conflict with Iran. Can you give me counterpoints to use against my dad? Is one issue his foreign policy. He believes Donald Trump is a peaceful dove type. Ask him why he destroyed the Iran denuclearization agreement, to which he's going to say, oh, but because it was bad. It was bad. Iran was supporting terrorism in the region. Yeah, except the best possible pathway forward was normalizing relations with Iran, which Donald Trump destroyed. It wasn't even a deal that America had put together by themselves, by the way. It was like multiple countries were involved in this deal. It took years and years to get to this point. It was probably the signature achievement towards having like better relations with Iran in general in the region. And Donald Trump cast it aside. He did the Abraham Accords, which again sidestepped the Palestinians and made them feel made them realize understandably that they were not a part of this process whatsoever. So as the Israeli occupation continued and greatly accelerated under the Trump administration, October 7 became an inevitability. Donald Trump has played a massive role in October 7. Joe Biden has played a big role in October 7 as well in the build-up to October 7. He could have changed American foreign policy trajectory, but he did not.
I was very critical of her father for years. I'd never met him, but I'd say anybody that went into the Middle East I thought was stupid. And they say, convinced Bush, he was another beauty. But he supposedly convinced Bush to go in, him, Bolton, and some other lightweights, convinced them to go in. Let's go into the Middle East and destroy the whole place and kill millions of people. So they went in. But I was never a fan of Cheney. I was always very critical. And when I announced that, I was very critical, actually. Not personally, but I said, he made a horrible mistake. What are these people doing?
Despite the fact that war and Cheneys are evil, does Trump making the argument that Liz Cheney should be shot by a firing squad give you the slightest pause? No, I think the Trump statements about the enemy from within and how he's going to sic the military on them is significantly worse. I think the argument that he was presenting about Liz Cheney here is a classic 2016 era Trump, where there's like a level of plausible deniability where he's like invoking a firing squad when he's describing something else. He's saying that like Liz Cheney and those others aren't brave. Our soldiers, our military members are actually brave. Liz Cheney doesn't know what it's like to be in the crosshairs. Like she doesn't know what it's like to be deployed, which Trump doesn't either, by the way. He's a draft dodger. But like the argument there is not about like, putting Liz Cheney in front of a firing squad and killing her. What he's obviously contextually trying to say is that like Liz Cheney would be singing a different tune if she actually was personally involved, as in if she actually was forced to, serve in the military. He was trying to say politicians should serve in the front lines, exactly. And he phrased it in a weird way, and I think the deliberate way he phrased it, he weirdly phrased it on purpose so that he could have like discourse run amok about how you say draft dodger like that's not big. No, it is. It's the best thing he's ever done. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Zach Beauchamp is right. Folks, Trump didn't threaten to execute Liz Cheney. He actually was calling her a chicken hawk. Something liberals have said about her for ages. Look at the context. Trump is talking about giving her a weapon. Typically, people put in front of firing squads aren't armed. What is a 9-barrel comment for it if not a nod at a firing squad? You sound like such a jackass. The simple thing that candidates shouldn't graphically fantasize about opponents getting shot in the face, regardless of whether larger context of the point they're making is not complicated. Matthew Dowd, Lord have mercy. You know exactly what Trump meant. And what he has said previously, just stop. Yeah, I don't really care. Like, it's obvious that he phrased it like an insane person because he probably does fantasize about Liz Cheney getting shot in the mouth in a firing squad style situation. But it's also very obvious that within the context of that conversation, he's saying that she is a chicken hawk. Having said that, yeah, liberals getting mad at this is so stupid because Liz Cheney's a goddamn demon. okay? And so is Dick Cheney. Like, what the fuck are we doing? We're defending Liz Cheney's honor now. Well, we're well actuallying him. No, I just don't give a shit. I don't give a shit at all because Donald Trump has used so much violent rhetoric. This is another one of those instances. And also, I think like Dick Cheney being shot for treason or whatever the this dipshit is fantasizing about is like the least consequential violent thing he's said. Like, does that make sense? Like, someone talks about rounding up every single brown person, dude, and putting him in concentration camps. Like, you think I give a about Liz Cheney?
And then I announced I was running, and I was shocked that he was one of the first people. He endorsed me immediately. I said, that's amazing. But he had something that was very interesting. He had Scooter Libby. I mean, these are little stories that are interesting. Scooter Libby was a man that could have done great destruction to Bush, and they left him behind. He was given to the prosecutors. They prosecuted him rather violently, and he was almost like a sacrificial lamb. And as somebody that knows a lot about what's happening, I said, you know, if I were ever president, I'd do something with that guy. That guy got treated very badly, Scooter Libby. And when I became president, I actually called Dick Cheney. I said, let me ask you about Scooter Libby. He was best friends. He was begging Bush to give Scooter Libby a pardon. But Bush didn't have the courage to do it. You know, it takes courage to give a pardon. And Scooter Libby was pardoned. I gave him a pardon. And I never met Scooter Libby, by the way. Never talked to him before that. And I got a call from Scooter Libby after I did that. He broke down in tears, thanking me so much. And then Cheney called me, and he said, that was so incredible what you did for Scooter Libby, because he was really on Scooter Libby's.
About Scooter. Man, shut the f up. Jesus Christ. Bragging about pardoning neocons, is this your king? Yeah, like, I don't give a f about no Scooter Libby, bitch. Shut the f up.
And then we're running against her. It's actually not fair to him. It's really not fair to him. That's no way.
Oh my God, this ain't who cares.
He's got the right. Who cares? Who said that? That's a great line. Who the hell said that? That's great because I'm going, you know, I've become such a nice guy all of a sudden. I say, it's not fair to him. This guy shouts out, who cares? Who the hell cares?
He still got it. He handled that expertly. Straight up, I'll say it. He took a naysayer and turned it into praise, basically.
President Trump, you said last night you essentially like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. do whatever he wants with health care. What? He's going to have a big role in health care. We just left. In fact, I think he might be We'll be talking about a lot of things, but he's going to have a big role in health care. Very big role.
Is it HHS?
He knows it better than anybody.
Yo, we're so cooked, dog. We're so fucking cooked. I think it's crazy that RFK is within striking distance of like just destroying what remains of the American medical structure, okay? I can't begin to explain to you how fucking insane this shit is. Trump receives plaque promoting peace from Arab American leaders.
President Trump, you said last night you essentially like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. do whatever he wants with health care. What? He's going to have a big role in health care.
HHS, maybe?
In fact, we just left. In fact, I think he might be here.
He's right,
You're comfortable with his views on vaccine, President?
We'll be talking about a lot of things, but he's going to have a big role in health care, a very big role.
Is it HHS, maybe?
He knows it better than anybody.
Yo, we're so cooked, dog. We're so fucking cooked. I think it's crazy that RFK is within striking distance of like just destroying what remains of the American medical structure, okay? I can't begin to explain to you how fucking insane this shit is. Trump receives plaque promoting peace from Arab American leaders.
Let me share a couple of words.
Let me share a couple words for our president, for our future president and former president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. A wise man once said, "Peace is the prize," and I stand before him today. As Arab Americans, we unite against the betrayal of those in power. Our families back home suffer, their cries for help echoing across borders, while the world remains silent.
Dude, what a thing. What an insane thing. He is doing more. The Muslim man president is doing more aesthetically to like at least make it seem like he gives a about Arab voters than the Democratic Party is. The Democratic Party is like actively trying to push away Arab voters while he's over here being like, yeah, I'll come over. I'll let you barbarians talk to me. I'll be in your presence. You can say he uses Palestinian as a slur till the cows come home. It does not matter. Not only is it the Democratic Party that's currently conducting the genocide in Israel, but also on top of that, like, guys, since the election is heated up in the last like 4 or 5 days, I haven't talked about this much, but like Israel killed 92 people yesterday. Like Israel's killing like 100 people every day in Gaza, in North Gaza specifically. And I don't think these guys are like honest people. I'll say it. I don't think these are honest brokers at all. This is a striking moment, but it isn't a damning moment for Muslim and Arabs, as many Americans may think it is. It's the sign of a demise of the Democratic Party, even in its ability to maintain optics. And optics are a core of politics. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and the Democratic Party have refused to even share a stage with Arabs, Muslims, Palestinians, not even for the sake of optics or for the sake of electoral interest. Instead, Harris and her party has chosen to castigate and marginalize Arabs and Muslims who overwhelmingly vote Democrat at every single turn. These men with Trump are a handful of Muslim Arab leaders out of millions of Muslims in the country. Not all Arabs are Muslim, and not all Muslims are Arab. And between these communities is a vast spectrum of politics and political engagement. Muslim Arabs have endorsed Jill Stein and third-party candidates. And over 150 imams, clerics, in a letter, Muslim Arabs have endorsed supported Harris. Zogby, M-Gage, Mehdi Hassan, uncommitted. Black Muslims have been on both sides of this. Our communities aren't monolithic. There is no doubt that overwhelmingly Arab and Muslim communities are against the U.S.-backed Israeli genocide of the Palestinians, and it's safe to say that almost every single Muslim and Arab filling out a ballot will be thinking about Gaza, but many will not even be going to the ballot box. Anyway, the question of voting for a party actively overseeing the genocide aside, the Democrats have given absolutely nothing to voters, Arab, Muslim, and to others, to show that they even want to pretend to care. Instead, they kick out Muslims from Harris rallies and yell, "I'm going to go for Gaza, baby." Trump did the easiest thing to Democrats, and Harris couldn't. He welcomed some Arabs and Muslims to share the stage with him and embrace them. The Democrats, Biden and Harris, have categorically refused to. The narrative has been and will continue to be that Arabs and Muslims are supporting Trump. That isn't true. Our communities are pushing against the genocide of our people. Some in our communities are choosing to side with current genocidaires. Some are choosing to side with future genocidaires. But the majority are choosing to stand against both. Like Donald Trump is not, he's not going to be pro-Palestine. Let's be real. Not a cult. Look at this shit. I did see this shit. This is awesome. It's awesome because one of the kids is the shooter. What the I'm sorry, and I don't mean to sound heartless when I say this. If sheer representation on the conservative stage is enough to prove the role from genocide to genocide, there's no shit. Well, if there's only two options, and one party is actively pushing away Arab voters, and the other party is at least aesthetically trying to court voters, what the f do you expect from voters to see? Like, I don't think it's correct. I think it's silly, but you're out of your mind. You shouldn't be angry at the voters in the situation that you have perceived as like voting out of turn or some shit. You should be f***ing yelling at the Democratic Party for actively pushing away Muslims and Arabs and people who care about Gaza. I can't help but notice that liberals' immediate like voters are the problem, not the party. Attitude has come back super strong with only a couple days out from the election. Campaigns need to earn people's votes. That is the underlying principle of democracy. I think it's pretty nutty, though, that Donald Trump is like taking the time out to even aesthetically look like he gives a shit about Arabs or Muslims alike. Maybe your chatters don't know what's happening in northern Gaza. People are desperate for sake. They'd vote for Satan if he gives them a false promise. The Democratic Party ain't even willing to throw them a bone. Northern Gaza is literally a Holocaust zone right now, and Lebanon is losing journalists, firefighters, ambulance workers, and doctors. Yeah. The Washington Post did a visual forensics analysis on Israel's actions in South Lebanon. It was sent directly by one of the journalists who worked on the project. Turns out nearly a quarter of all buildings in Lebanese towns and villages near the Israeli border have been damaged or destroyed, the vast majority since Israel's October 1st invasion, according to an analysis of satellite data by Washington Post. Across Lebanon's border villages, at least 5,868 buildings have been left in ruins, 80% of them since the invasion began. In some places, such as the villages of Al-Shab and Kfar Kila, nearly half of the structure is gone. Many village centers have been erased. I mean, come on, dude. What the fuck do you expect? And it's not just Arabs who care about this shit. There's like white people who care about this shit too. I know that a lot of the messaging on this issue has been like, oh, Arabs are of one mind. It's only Arabs. It's only Arabs. It's not only Arabs. There's plenty of young people who will not go out and vote because of this reason. You know, Israel has a right to defend itself. Once again, Israeli soldiers from the 202 paratroopers battalion wearing clothes that displaced Lebanese women. What is up with this shit? Why do they do this like freakish shit? I don't understand. Like, at no point do they ever like look at themselves and go, hey man, we're doing bad guy stuff. Like, this is bad guy shit. I've been in 4 wars as a soldier. Oh, this guy interviewed me before, remember? As a soldier or a reporter, and I've seen a lot of atrocities and abuses, but dressing up in the clothes of the women and girls you've killed or displaced is sick and twisted practice, wholly unique to murderous perverts of the Israeli army. Oh my god. What the fuck? Dude, that's... Bro, this guy is a Rolling Stones writer, dude. What the Pretty sure American soldiers did this too, by the way. Just saying. This shit's making it to the history books? Depends. The reason why I say depends is because, you know, history is written by the victors. Bro, what the Israeli occupation soldiers have shared a photo of a D9 bulldozer decorated with toys belonging to displaced or killed Palestinian children while wreaking havoc in Gaza. I mean, this is barbaric. I don't know how else to... Like, it's so wild, because this is, like, pure barbarism, right? This is the type of, like, depravity that defenders of Israel associate with their enemies, okay, with Arabs as a whole. And then they do this kind of stuff. But because of the way we analyze states versus non-state actors, allies versus foreign adversaries, here in the United States of America, this kind of shit doesn't, like, breach the public consciousness for the most part. Like, they don't look at this kind of stuff and go, oh, this is gross. Like, what the fuck? You were a bad guy. You were doing Nazi shit. Like, this is exactly the kind of depravity that we heard about with the Nazi regime and the actions of the Nazi regime. You can call me a terrorist every fucking damn day of the fucking week. You can call me anti-Semite for calling out these atrocities all day, every day. But you can't change the reality. People that see this stuff are going to be like, this is insane. Taking out a fucking Twitch streamer here and there, or a podcaster, or
fuck Ethan. Ethan Klein from H3H3. He has officially left the left. He should make a stupid fucking video like all those fucking former leftist hogs do, and they're like, this is why I left. Fuck you. You're a fucking brainless, mindless Zionist ideologue, and no amount of reasoning will get into your head because of your emotional. It's a comfortable place to be. Nationalism, you're having an identity. But you don't know what it's like to be a piece of shit. Like me. I'm mostly English, but we're all fucking mutts, bro. Fucking American mutts who are supposed to, like, be racist. Eat my dick. Fuck you, rich people.
Scaring, like, doxing a college student into submission is not going to somehow make you sleep comfortably at night. If these are the kinds of atrocities that you see and you justify, I'd rather, as that chatter is correct, I'd rather be called a terrorist than called complicit in this kind of behavior. It's disgusting. I get the Dems are fumbling this issue, but if voters will suddenly have amnesia about Trump's Islamophobia and fall for these aesthetics, they're actually fucking dumb and should be shamed for it. I'm tired of infantilizing stupid voters. Yeah, I don't think this is a minor disagreement over, like, you know, what level of marginal harm you are allowing undocumented migrants to experience. Like, you're talking about people whose immediate family members are being murdered with their tax dollars and they have nothing. It's an act of desperation, you know? I don't agree with it at all, but, you know, be a little bit more understanding of the situation. And then anger is appropriate in this circumstance, by the way. Being angry is appropriate, but you should be angry at the Democratic Party for not even aesthetically trying to, you know, say, no, you guys are a part of our coalition. That's crazy to be like, yeah, these people. How dare you? I mean, what do you mean, f these people? Like, oh, they're so fucking stupid. It's like, no, they're not. They're actually pretty smart in the sense that they respond to what the Democratic Party is saying. The Democratic Party has actively communicated that you are not a part of the coalition to so many of these people. If they're smart enough to know Harris isn't doing enough, they should be smart enough not to support Trump either. Once again, the bar is lower for Trump than anyone else. Okay, I think you're misunderstanding a key point here. I don't agree with those guys, but also I understand how politics works, and it seems like Democrats do not. If one side is at least aesthetically saying, I care about you, I will defend you, and the other side is saying, suck my dick, then how can you fault the people for going, well, okay, I'm not going to go with the suck my dick party. Get mad at the right people. Do not get mad at the fucking voters. Get mad at the party. Meet the Republican women not voting for Trump.
I will not be voting for Donald Trump, but I haven't decided to vote for Harris. I'm joyfully, genuinely.
Like, what the lady? What are you talking about? Listen, if you find genocide to be your red line, I get it. But like, is that what her analysis is here? Maybe. Maybe she's going to be like fucking super based. I don't know. We'll see.
I will not vote for Trump again, and I'm undecided about Harris.
In this election, just like 2020, suburban women are in
I
the
don't give a
spotlight.
fuck about
and in the
abortion
affluent
rights.
outskirts of
At the
cities
end of
like
the day, that's what
Phoenix
these
and
fucking
Arizona,
bitches are saying.
it's Republican women in particular who are huddling together, agonizing over
Menopausal
iced tea.
married
And the
women who
big
gives a
question,
fuck.
should they vote with their conscience and ditch Donald Trump, or stay loyal to their party? You'd think the decision would be easy. Of course, the big choice.
What part of the
Trump
party
or
they're sticking
Harris,
loyal
couldn't
to? You gotta be
more
dumb as
stark.
dog shit to
And
be a
what's
fucking
striking
female
is the
Republican.
fear they
Like
all
a real
articulate
self-hating
about
piece
the
of shit.
future.
I don't sleep well, really. I don't. I mean, I can't even
Or you just,
imagine.
or you
that
hate fucking
former
poor
President
people
Trump would be
like
our
a
president
lot.
again.
And then
End
that's
of days
it's
for
just
you.
fucked
It's end
up.
of days for me.
Yeah, I'm petrified that it sounds a little extreme, but that we could be in a civil war of sorts.
So Lisa poses a question of her own.
So, as an opportunity to the two of you who have not decided yet, if you do choose to undervote and not vote for Trump or Kamala, and Trump is
Undervote? That's not a
elected,
term.
will you look back and regret the undervote?
I don't like either option. So I do have to say, I do actually think she's a decent human being. I really cannot say that about Donald Trump.
It is the hardest presidential race I'll be voting in, even though I find him so repulsive and can't vote for him. It's, will I go the other way?
Will she? Can she vote for Kamala?
Dude, I'm done. I'm done with old white ladies, bro. I'm sorry. You're done. It's over. Except for my mom.
All white
She's
ladies
still
are
there.
dumb as dog shit.
grandma.
All white people, especially the old ones.
In my book. It's like, what do you want?
Forget about
What
it.
the f do you want?
Please just
It's not
die.
like you're like the only thing you care about is aesthetics and optics and civility. And like Kamala Harris gives you that tenfold. Like she's actively targeting her campaign specifically for you, and you're still sitting there over there being like, I don't know if I'll vote for Kamala. It's like, what the f do you want? I despise you. You are such a dumb f. Like, what do you want? She literally has tailored her entire campaign specifically to capture the attention of that dumb asshole. And she's still like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what more Kamala Harris could do. I guess maybe run as a Republican. Like, is that what it is? Because I don't think they're anti-Zionist. You know what I mean? I don't think they're like, yeah, I find it really unconscionable to vote for a genocide or some shit. Like they don't have valid claims. Like if they had any sort of like serious valid claims.
The only reason
I
why
would
they're
be
not
like,
voting
all right,
for him
like,
because
let's
they're
hear 'em out.
right-wing fucking
I really
psychopaths,
thought,
period.
Personally, that like white
Palestine is like not an
like,
issue for
directly
Republicans.
impact their bodily autonomy. It turns out, so white women were like, feminism, I don't care, I'm white. As long as I get to have like the racial superiority, I don't give a. That's what's so frustrating. It's like, you can't win these people over. Meanwhile, I'm sure you got hella young voters.
See, Republicans
black voters,
don't
brown
care which
voters,
side
Arab
in the
voters that are
Israel
just like,
Gaza
"Please just give me hope that you will be
so-called
human,
conflict,
that you see me
not
as a human
like,
being,
but it's
that
obviously
you will
genocide.
Not spend
They don't care who the
unlimited
fuck
dollars
wins.
in
Like 100, seriously, they don't care.
And it's like, nah, you, suck my dick. I want Deborah. I want Deborah real fucking bad. I want Barbara and I want Deborah. And it's like Deborah and Barbara are sitting there are like, this campaign, I know that they've tailored their entire messaging strategy around capturing my attention, but I still am undecided. Yeah, they're white first, women second, I guess. Yeah, no shit, this guy's a shill, brother. What are you talking about? He literally said he's voted for Republicans in the past. Ain't nobody's putting themselves out there to be like, I'm pro-Trump, and go to a Trump rally, dude. Are you kidding me? It's just like paperwork to stop and, ballots from being processed and yada, yada, yada. We'll see what happens.
Who was also in Milwaukee last night and heads to North Carolina today. It's the fourth day in a row that both candidates are in the same state. ABC's Mary Alice Parks is live in Gastonia, North Carolina. Good morning, Mary Alice.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. Former President Trump was in the same arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where Republicans held their national convention. He talked about immigration and the economy. He said that he was the only candidate who could rescue the economy from, quote, total obliteration. And he was introduced by one of his supporters, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. With just 3 days to go, Donald Trump back in the very same arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where he accepted his party's nomination this summer, now trying to finish his campaign strong.
Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Trump polling the crowd about whether he should say he will win.
It sounds a little braggadocio, right?
The former president repeating claims that migrants are taking jobs from black Americans.
They have taken so many jobs away from African Americans, less from Hispanic, but that's going to catch up.
And leaning into the disappointing jobs report out Friday that showed unemployment steady at a low 4.1%, but employers only adding 12,000 jobs last month.
The economy stinks. What timing? What timing? 4 days before the election, they have among the worst numbers.
The report came amid hurricanes and a new Boeing strike. It showed wages continuing to climb, and the stock market did end the week higher. But Trump predicted economic doom.
Do you want to lose your job and maybe your house and pension because Kamala has the
Of course he
economic
does. That would help him.
understanding of a child?
Trump joined on stage in Wisconsin and earlier in the day in Michigan by former independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who dropped out of the race and endorsed him, but whose name will still be on the Michigan ballot.
If you want to see me go to Washington, you better vote for Donald Trump.
Kennedy,
Shut up.
says he's been promised a prominent
Kennedys,
role
all
in
the
any future
Kennedys
Trump
gonna be my
administration,
fucking
running
butthole.
healthcare agencies.
Fucking
Trump seeming to
terrifying.
confirm
Bitch
as much.
asses.
And he's going to take care of women's health and men's health and your
Terrifying.
children's health.
And asked if he agrees with Kennedy about vaccines.
You're comfortable with his views on vaccines, Mr. President?
We'll be talking about a lot of things, but he's going to have a big role in healthcare, very big role.
Vice President Kamala
Honestly,
Harris
it's like
today calling out Trump
how
over
fucking
possibly putting
shitty the
Kennedy in
fucking
charge
Kennedys are.
of America's
Like, fuck
healthcare system.
Trump's 1,000.
He has indicated that the person who would be in
Eric
charge of
Don Jr.,
health care for the
Ivanka,
American people is someone
but
who has
even
routinely promoted junk science
all of them.
and crazy
They
conspiracy
should just
theories.
fuck off forever
who
and
once
stay out of the public
expressed support for a
fucking
national
limelight.
abortion ban.
And former
Indefinitely.
President Trump
And
heads
just,
here
like,
to North Carolina today. It's
stay
the one
there, stay
battleground
home,
state that
fuck
he
off.
won 4 years ago. But he's taking nothing for granted. He has 3 events scheduled this weekend alone here. Democrats say it could be a sign he's nervous about the state. Janae?
All right, we will see what happens in the next few days. Mary Alice, thank you.
Time to prioritize our nation's best interests and foster lasting peace for all. This current administration has failed miserably in all aspects of humanity. We look to a Trump presidency with hope, envisioning a time where peace flourishes, particularly in Lebanon and Palestine, maintaining the integrity of our borders.
Donald Trump meeting with Arab American voters in Dearborn, Michigan, who are now throwing their support behind him.
This comes as the candidates remain neck and neck in that all-important battleground state.
You just heard from our next guest.
Why don't they say RFK Jr. is anti-Semitic despite the fact that he said that COVID was a conspiracy created by Ashkenazi Jews and the Chinese because he's unimaginably pro-Israel? There is your fucking answer. The media, well, not the media, but like a lot of people who are in right-wing circles especially, would consider me to be anti-Semitic before RFK Jr. I'm not anti-Semitic. I I am, however, anti-Israel. Therefore, I'm the biggest anti-Semite. RFK Jr., anti-Semitic, pro-Israel, not an anti-Semite. It's that simple.
Yes, Michigan resident Albert Abbas, and he joins us now. Albert, it's so great to have you on. I was just telling my co-host here, I'm obsessed with this story. Donald Trump's going to end with a rally in Michigan. I think that Arab Americans might be the swing demo inside of Michigan that could put it in Trump's corner. Explain to us why Donald Trump is appealing to why Arab Americans are attracted to Donald Trump at this moment.
Arab Americans are flowing in the direction of the Trump campaign because of his literally words of tolerance and love and ending wars. I mean, all our families are suffering overseas in Gaza and in Lebanon, and we have to stop the
he ain't gonna fucking do shit about it, bro.
And allow justice for everyone and allow everyone to live with dignity. And diplomacy is the way for peace. We can't expect that dropping bombs is going to create peace. We have to, open the gates so that we can have conversations, with people that we agree with and people that we don't agree with. And that's the most important thing. And he's extended an olive branch to the Arab community. He's made it a priority to come here. And he's said some very powerful words to gain that support. And now we're going to be looking for some actions and to hold everyone accountable. But we do believe that Donald Trump is our best option and a good option, if that.
Albert, I'm curious what this shift represents. So I'm going to ask you two questions. Is this going to be the first time then that you have voted for a Republican? Have you been a supporter of Democrats in the past? And that's one question real quick, Albert. And then the other is, in your estimation, in your community, are there a lot of people who are following your lead and now going over to Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a seismic shift in favor of Donald Trump here in Dearborn and across Michigan in general. And I do believe Michigan is going to be the deciding factor in this election, and people are starting to wake up. It is not my first time voting for a Republican, and it's not, probably my last time voting for a Democrat if they continue to, go on this path. As Dearborn voters, we want to be heard. So the person that wants to listen to us and wants to reciprocate, the love and tolerance, then we are going to shift towards that candidate. And today that candidate is Donald Trump. He's made some great gains over here in Michigan. Actually, I actually have a picture right here of my.
In terms of this guy and the Muslim or Arab votes swinging in this direction to be consequential enough for Kamala Harris to lose Michigan, they are, the Democratic Party has actively written out. One, the Democratic Party has considered the Israel-Palestine issue to be an Arab one, a sectarian one, an ethnic one, a religious one. This is not the case. Broad majorities of every party, including the Republican Party, want a ceasefire in Gaza. They want an end to the weapons transfers. It's not just the Arab thing. Now, in terms of this being a single issue thing that could swing someone's opinion, I still don't think it's just the Arab thing. But besides that, the Democratic Party has openly pushed aside Arab voters, Muslim voters, Christian Arabs, Lebanese voters, and the like. They've openly communicated that they don't want them to be a part of the active coalition. The issue is, or at least what this guy is saying, the reason why it doesn't really matter is that Michigan is so fucking blue overall and has a long track record of being blue overall, despite the fact that in 2016, Hillary Clinton lost. Michigan has relapsed in a, dare I say, blue wave, and part of the gains that they've made in Michigan, in terms of the blue waves, comes from the suburbs, and I think they've picked up a lot of white suburbs people on top of the white working class in general, big inroads with the UAW that they are making up in their minds. They are certainly making up for all of the Arab or Muslim or Lebanese votes that they might lose for this single issue. That's it. That's why you're seeing polls reflect a different reality than what this guy is claiming. Yeah. The narrative of Muslim Americans is defecting Trump is largely a canard, pander, and a dumb horseshoe theory stuff, when the risk has always been third-party / non-voting. Inevitable since the Harris campaign has made clear they don't want them anywhere near their coalition. Yeah. Here's the last CARE national poll among Muslim voters showing 10 points for Trump, 41 for Harris, 42 for Stein. Any idea why this poll is so different from this one? This guy's showing Arab voters with Muslim voters. I know that there's still a large overlap, so it's quite weird that the support for Trump is so different between the polls. Anyway.
Father with Ronald Reagan. I don't know if you can see it, but this was back in the 80s when he had good relationships with Ronald Reagan and the Speaker of the House of Lebanon, and he helped bring back the American hostages at the time. And now our goal is to make sure that, we end the wars everywhere. And we're asking Donald Trump not only to, demand an end to the war, but to demand it the day that he steps in office. No more killing, no more bombing, just peace around the world and love and tolerance.
Albert, just one quick question. Massad Boulos, who is Tiffany Trump's father-in-law, he is a Lebanese, of Lebanese descent. How much, I've heard that he was, for the last year, working the Dearborn area, working Michigan. How much has that been of an impact on the community and their vote, or their leaning towards Donald Trump?
It definitely doesn't hurt to have such an outstanding gentleman in Mr. Trump's family. It gives us a vote of confidence that, our voices will be heard. It's good that, his family has the diversity that the Democrats always speak of, but they don't really tolerate when we want to speak out. Mr. Boulos has been an outstanding person, has supported us, has, provided us with the lines of communication within the Republican Party, and has allowed us access to develop these relationships and build these bridges with the Republican Party, who has quite frankly been absent from, Dearborn and Michigan in general.
Yeah, no shit, this guy's a shill, brother. What are you talking about? He literally said he's voted for Republicans in the past. Ain't nobody's putting themselves out there to be like, I'm pro-Trump, and go to a Trump rally, dude. Are you kidding me? They could hate Kamala Harris. They could want to make a deal with the devil. It doesn't matter. There's a difference between someone who is like very angry and saying that they don't want to vote for Kamala Harris versus someone who's like, I'm voting for Donald Trump because I think that he's going to deliver peace in the Middle East. Yeah, come on. Like, he's on Fox News, dude. What are you talking about? Like, what? Are we stupid? I mean, yes, the answer is yes. I always ask that question. The answer is always yes. It's like the Republican Party's war on terror has now been completely reframed into the Democratic Party's war on terror, which is crazy because the Democrats let that happen. Like, they did it. They championed it. They're so fucking stupid for this. I'll take this with a huge grain of salt, but this is probably the type of story that's helping the Trump campaign. Yeah. No, this isn't. Guys, I talk to people in Gaza, okay? And even some of the people that I talk to in Gaza are like, well, neither party really matters, but we were getting killed less when Donald Trump was president, okay? People have a very different analysis in this situation. That doesn't mean that they're correct. They obviously are not. They're wrong. But what am I gonna do? And dunk on a dude that is experiencing genocide? I'm just trying to explain to you how some people calculate this, or how some people make this calculation. The point is, Donald Trump is most likely going to be even worse than like the worst possible thing you could do, which is genocide. But right now, it's the Democrats that are doing it. So people are so lost and so desperate that some of them are like, yeah, maybe this is the right move. Who knows? I'll take a fucking swing at it. A sound party would have never allowed this to happen. A reasonable party would never allow this to happen. The Democrats are unreasonable and they have let it happen. It's so stupid. I don't think that like this is going to be as impactful. I don't think that people care enough about Gaza to, like, people do care about Gaza, but they don't care enough about Gaza to vote in whichever direction, as I have stated before. So that's the situation. It's just uniparty on that front, and people make their assessment beyond that. Whether they are pro-Palestine or not, they're just like, there's not really much you can do in this situation. Someone needs to clip this when liberals try to blame you if Trump wins, even though you've said this a million times. I mean, people are going to do that regardless, brother. What do you mean? Like, people are fucking stupid. Dude, people are calling me fucking the MAGA of the left, okay? Give me a goddamn break.
For our people so that our voices can be heard. The only thing that we're asking as a population is for us to be respected and heard. Don't take our votes for granted, and, you know, hopefully you on this ride for peace and prosperity.
Well, we heard you this morning on Fox and Friends. Thanks for being with us, Albert.
Thank you very much. You have a blessed day.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our...
President, you've had quite a lot of interruptions during your speeches recently, a lot of pro-Gaza protesters, and, you know, you certainly have spoken about democracy and responding to them, but do you think that you need to say a little bit more about the Mideast conflict, or about what you would do to try to satisfy them? And are you concerned at all about how you'll do in college towns and in Michigan in particular with them? President Trump today is going to Dearborn, is going to a Palestinian restaurant. This is the second kind of Arab American restaurant he's gone to. He seems to be really trying to make a play for a group that would traditionally be pretty democratic. Do you think you've done enough to reach these voters?
Well, I'm very proud to have a significant amount of support from the Arab American community, both because of my position about what we need to do in Gaza and in the region to end the war and bring the hostages home, and my commitment to a two-state solution, but also because within that community there are many issues that challenge folks and that they want to hear about, including what we're going to do to make housing affordable, what we're going to do to bring down the cost of groceries, what we're going to do to invest in small businesses. I have a plan for all of those things, and
I don't agree with that. I think for the most part, it's not the same for Jewish voters. I've brought it up time and time again. For American Jewish voters who vote 75% around that margin for the Democratic Party, Israel is not top of mind in terms of like what's going on. Anti-Semitism in America might be, but like Israel is not the first priority. It's the 9th priority out of 10. On the other hand, for a lot of like Arabs, their friends, people in those neighborhoods, people in those communities, Christians, Lebanese people, like people from the Levant living in the United States of America, this is something that they care about. And the reason why they care about it is because their fucking families are being slaughtered, you know what I mean? Like, of course, it's understandable that this is like going to be a prescient, this is going to be a very significant matter that they care about. So this is the one spot she's really lacking in. No, I think she's lacking in a bunch of different spots, but this is the one that is the worst. Like, yeah, but this chatter is correct. Miss M. Pooch is correct. You're gonna let someone going to a Palestinian restaurant be the move that outflanks you on this issue. Like, that's crazy. Optically speaking, dropping the ball this much on this is insane. But yeah, this is not the only issue where she has problems. There are plenty of other issues where she has major problems, both in her middle road lackluster policy, but also, you know, tacking right, championing Liz Cheney, defending Liz Cheney, all this shit. Like, it's just bad. And we'll see what happens. But like, I still do think that Donald Trump and the way that Donald Trump presents himself, reminding people of what a grave threat he represents to like the current order of business, and not in a positive way, like not in a positive shake-up style situation, is going to carry across the finish line, I think, albeit a marginal victory, when there should be a fucking wipeout for Kamala Harris.
These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
Both of the old white men are going for the biromantic ticket. Yeah. Can Stacey Abrams still deliver Georgia? She's like the least popular politician in the state. She's not delivering anything for anyone. It's so funny. The Stacey Abrams like PR team, I need to hire them. I don't know how the fuck people just like look at what she has done so far and still constantly hype her up. I need her PR team so that people will stop yelling at me, because ain't nobody has done this shittily overall in elections and then still maintain like such positive media coverage. It's pretty crazy.
That is something that resonates within that community and with all Americans.
They want to show the administration that what they did, the policy and statement and that they don't care if it makes Trump the president, what would you tell them?
So there's a real contrast in this race. When you look at who stands for democracy and democratic principles and who does not. Donald Trump is talking about an enemies list. He is talking about using the American military to turn on American citizens. He talks in a way that suggests that there should be retribution and severe consequences just because people disagree with him. My point is very clear. I believe in our democracy. Democracies are complicated in a wonderful way because we like debate, we accept and receive differences of opinion, and we work them out. One of the reasons I am going to have a Republican in my cabinet is because I want different views. I enjoy and benefit from diverse views from different perspectives that allow me then to make the best decisions I can make. That's the big difference between me and Donald Trump. And that's the big difference between someone who truly is a leader and someone who is in it for themselves and wants unchecked power. Thank you all.
Mark for the attack. Heads down. Enemy long rifle.
Go on polling accuracy. I'm going to get right into it. Basically, pollsters are terrified of being wrong again, so they're flat out ignoring very blue results. As a result, pollsters are more willing to take steps to produce more Republican-leaning results. This is something that we've talked about in terms of like the +2 Republican advantage, like the Republican balancing in every poll, even if the data is not showing that, like their own personal data is not showing that, in order to make up for the polling inaccuracies that have occurred, because Trump has been consistently, as the great white hope, undermined by our woke liberal pollsters.
Yeah, trying to demoralize the conservatives from not voting because they always show them down.
Yeah.
That's the story. But yeah, that is a big, well, the thing with the +2, I don't know if you mentioned this, but a really interesting thing with that for me is that number in a lot of cases comes from a Pew survey that they conducted over like from February to July, where they asked people their partisan leanings. And it's like this huge survey that gets really high response rates. They pay people to respond to it. So it's hopefully it gets a more representative sample and it can represent like how the actual partisanship and what these low info Trump voters, what they feel in the survey. And their finding was that like the country has a partisan lean of R+2, like you said. And a lot of pollsters that don't have the money or the time to conduct those kinds of massive surveys have used it as a reference survey. It's called the National Public Opinion Reference Survey. The problem with that survey, it's not like necessarily badly conducted. Pew does a good job usually, but it was conducted while Biden was a Democratic nominee the entire time. So you could very well see this like metric that like a lot of big pollsters are using could be reflecting a political reality that does not exist in the current state of events with Kamala the nominee.
What do you think about the argument that I presented that there is no shy Republican voter any longer in the way that there were in 2016, whereas there are definitely shy Kamala voters, I think, for a multitude of different reasons, including, but not limited to, possible political violence coming their way if they were to openly demonstrate support for Kamala Harris, given how confident Republicans have become in terms of like dishing out violence, or even just straight up being embarrassed to be in the tank for Kamala Harris, in a similar vein to like being in the tank for Joe Biden, despite like the inevitability that they would have gone and voted for Joe Biden. They did not openly defend Joe Biden. This is vibes-based analysis in general. But I feel like at this stage, given the way the polls are looking,
at the very least, there is the idea of there having been a silent Republican vote that might not have ever been real. If you look back at what Republican pollsters were saying for like a very long period of time, they had always been accusing pollsters of not like contacting the silent Republicans, or that there was something of a shy Tory effect happening in the U.S. That has like always been the bag of right-wing pollsters. They were saying that back in 2012, and Trump being underestimated in the polls was like the big moment. They're like, oh, see, you guys didn't reach out to real America, and all the liberals being very self-flagellating just like took that, oh my God, we're so elitist and stupid. We didn't do that. We're awful. We need to change everything. But there's not much evidence that that's really like that. It might be the case that they can't reach out to certain kinds of really like low info, just disillusioned anti-establishment Trump supporters. But the idea that that Trump supporters are just not saying who they want to vote for because of social stigma, there's not like really evidence of that. There wasn't even like in 2016 we have like the reason why the polls were off because pollsters didn't weight by education. In 2020, probable reason why they were off then is because the liberals who were staying inside were answering polls at really, really high rates, like higher than usual, and it like gave them incorrect sample sizes. So neither of those things had anything to do with Trump supporters just being embarrassed of who they vote for. And I think like the idea that that's the case, I honestly comes from like conservatives who like the really elite conservatives live in very blue areas where they're personally embarrassed to admit that they support Trump. And they're transposing that onto the rest of the conservatives who live in areas that are very, very supportive of their beliefs and don't necessarily need to be quiet. And like even the Daily Wire was headed out of LA for like several years. Like these guys have a perspective that is a lot more coastal and elitist than they like to believe.
I agree with your analysis here. But overall, what are some, give us some signs that Kamala Harris is actually doing relatively well in the polls? That or the performance has been good so far, because on the vibes-based front, I do look at like some of the motion from the Trump campaign, whether it be like literally trying to hug and kiss the Arab voting bloc in Michigan. I don't think you do that if you're already confident about like the way that you've presented how you're going to win every state.
Yeah, because that creates problems when governing, because you have a lot of you would rather have a very cohesive coalition backing you instead of a ton of different groups that all have their different priorities that you may have to abandon and won't be in a good position afterwards. Like, yeah, I would agree with that. That's not something Republican campaigns traditionally do. It is not what you do when you're confident.
Yeah, he's stopping by like Arab-owned restaurant in Dearborn, Michigan. He's the first candidate to come here this cycle. I asked him why Dearborn. He said he's building inroads with Lebanese and Muslims. Got a warm reception here. I think that the Democratic Party has basically carved out the Arab and Lebanese and Muslim vote in every state, but especially so in Michigan, as they've activated Rishi Torres, AIPAC's biggest attack dog, to go and give assurances to the Jewish voters in Michigan that they hate Arabs, don't worry.
There's not even a huge Jewish population in Michigan. There's a larger, like if you really want to go that far, you would probably go to Georgia where they're or Pennsylvania. Like the minority group in Michigan is very much Arabs. It's like a lot of what people say about minority outreach, quote unquote, where it's less about actually reaching out to those groups and more about signaling to the majority population that you're not a president for the minorities.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, with Bill Clinton as well. But Bill Clinton in North Carolina was also already a weird person to deploy there.
Yeah.
But then also beyond North Carolina, sending him to Michigan, a state notoriously where the Clintons did not do well last time they were matched up against Donald Trump. And beyond that, to go there and just be sorry, Arabs are just not real humans, and only Israelis are the real humans in this equation. And of course they're going to want to seek out revenge like it's normal. And then repeating Itamar Ben-Gvir lines about how, that's Judea and Samaria. There's no such thing as the West Bank. So
that was insane. They should go against a lot of what people say about the Camp David Accords, where they talk about Clinton like he was this honest broker.
Yeah. Or the current president and the vice president running to be president have both said, we want a two-state solution. You're literally going against their fake, nonsensical bullshit. By you're destroying the veneer of any sort of peaceful accord in that process. So I think that the reason why they're doing that is one, because they genuinely do not believe that Arabs are human beings. Men of region are human beings. But the way that they are publicly communicating this, in my opinion, is more cynical. Me and Uncle Cenk have privately corresponded on this. He is of a different mind. Where he believes that it's genuine Democratic Party incompetence. I think it's something a little bit more sinister, where they're, I think, priming the base to be more. Like, I think they're trying to offer a permission structure to the base to be like, no, these guys aren't a part of our coalition, actually.
Yeah. And also, like, if you look at, like, what, like, the theoretical basis for, like, a lot of the defections, like, the people who say they won't vote for Democrats, like, because we need to prove that we're, like, a wild card who might not be part of who, if they don't, like, align with our interests, we won't support them. Like, similar to, like, how the Christian right did it in the 90s, where they knew that their best interests were with the Republicans, but, like, they were willing to take some temporary losses. Obviously, the stakes for them were far lower, like, than what, like, left-wing groups, because the Democrats in the 90s weren't exactly, like, anti their interests, but they were able to pressure the Republicans immensely by proving that they were an invaluable part of the coalition, and they could walk if they wanted to. James Dobson, one of, like, the really huge Christian right, like, bigwigs at the time, like, left the Republican Party outright in 1996, and that terrified the Republican Party, and it created this kind of like the basic kind of back and forth with interest groups like the religious right or with, like, pro-Palestinian groups, where you kind of have to show, like, that you're not bluffing when you say you're gonna, like, defect. Like, unions do that sometimes. It's like a basic thing. And what the Democrats are trying to do on their end is they may be trying to specifically win states like Michigan or Georgia, which has a large Muslim population, and Gwinnett County, or like Wisconsin, which also has, like, a large, like, even like they have a large Bosnian Muslim community in Milwaukee, I believe. They're trying to prove to these people who are trying to exert pressure on them that we can win with our new coalition of Liz Cheney, like, anti-Trump Republicans, that you aren't needed to get victory, that we can do whatever policies we want, and you can't pressure us. Because now they might be feeling a degree of heat from the idea that, like, oh, we won Michigan by a close margin, and there are this many like Democratic voters in Dearborn, and if they can win Michigan without getting large, like, losing those cities, losing those demographics, they, like, will feel like they have all the cards. It's a policy play, not an electoral one. They want to really like, relieve themselves of even the perceived pressure that could be on them in the case that they have to rely on these groups.
Yeah, I think that is one aspect of this for sure. And I think the other aspect of it is in the same vein as, like, their anti-migrant sentiment that they've expressed over and over again, that they've adopted the right-wing framing that immigrants constitute a national security threat, which is directly the opposite of that sort of messaging that the Democratic Party has always championed. That, like, immigrants are our neighbors, they're our friends, they're people that contribute. And yeah, we'll do some, stronger border measures, but that always comes with, like, a price where we can extract some concessions, right?
Yeah.
They've completely dropped the ball on that, and I think the reason why they're doing that specifically is to basically decouple Gaza or present Gaza and, like, American foreign policy or allegiances to Israel as, like, only a Muslim thing. I think that's one other aspect of this, to be like, only Muslims care about this. You don't care about this. See, like, you also understand, like, if they killed, if your neighbors executed your family members, like, you would also want vengeance too. And I think that's the nefarious aspect of this messaging. I think that it's, like, very cynical and dare I say even calculated to be like, to give white people, not just in the suburbs, but, like, younger students and black and brown people, the knowledge or the permission to say, like, oh yeah, that's just basically like a Muslim thing, and there's a lot more to care about than just this, like, thing that only Muslims care about, which is not reflective of the poll results in general. And it's no different than going to the Michigan Jewish population and telling them, like, don't worry, we hate the Arabs. Like, there are plenty of Jews, I mean, you're Jewish, but there are plenty of Jews in Michigan and Pennsylvania and all around that are dedicated anti-Zionists. And beyond that, Jews who are not anti-Zionist are not voting at the behest of Israel anyway. Like, that's not their top priority at all, at least in like all the polls I've seen. It's the 9th priority. Now, one might make the argument that it's only the 9th priority in the top 10 priorities because both parties are uniparty in their support for Israel, but it would at least reflect higher in the polling results, despite the uniparty attitude, if this was something that they cared about the most when they are when Jewish voters as a voting bloc are going out to vote and voting by margins like 70% plus towards the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I think this is also part of the larger like kind of scheme, like the larger project that they're undertaking, where a lot of Bidenomics, like even the left-wing like aspects of it, the spending, the CHIPS Act, the all these things, it's always couched in the language of national security, like fighting against China, fighting against Russia, like it's making America the predominant hegemon in the world. And it's like it's interesting. Like the thing that people have kind of noticed is that the idea of just creating a stronger or fairer economy, these basic liberal justifications for social programs that are supposed to justify themselves, that doesn't really exist. The international conflict, the great power conflict, is at the core of what their project is, and they kind of need, if this is going to sustain itself, they need the only people who care about the negative impacts of war to be specific groups that can be targeted and aren't huge and can be managed. It can't be like a larger like society defining larger electoral issue like the Vietnam War was. It needs to just be the case that only Ukrainians care about Ukraine, which they like have kind of adopted when they made fun of Trump for being pro-Russia, saying, oh, there's so many Ukrainian and Polish voters in Ukraine.